Welcome to the big ass cornhole show with Sean and Dane, the hosts you know, talking cornhole life and random fun. Grab a beer, let's get it done. From tossing bags to let's wild ride, tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the big ass cornhole podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always prime. With Sean is done.
And this episode is brought to you by the world champion doubles winning team sponsor bag company, Draggin Bags.
Some might even call it the ultimate winning machine.
The ultimate winning machine. If you can see up there in the corner, that's what it says, and they're not lying. Okay, Draggin Bags, baby. Obviously, coming off of a world or a first Sig 1 championship. Congrats to the boys, Wiedenfeld and Roybal, for getting it done. Throwing Draggin Bags. Greatest bag in the game. We keep saying it. It's finally showing. They also have the newest, world's greatest cornhole bag, which is hot, coming off the market. So go over to Draggin Bags today and strike while you can, because these bags are going to go fast after seeing this championship run. All right, so head over to Draggin Bags with Z.com and pick up a hot set today. And there's an exclusive offer happening right now. If you buy while you're listening to this episode, we'll be your best friends.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, yeah, I did that.
How do you turn that away?
Okay, so welcome back.
Welcome, everybody,
to another episode of the Big Ass
Sean,
Cornhole Podcast.
Cornhole is back.
Cornhole
Sigs
is back.
are here. We could finally get back in.
Can we just try an experiment here real fast?
Oh, sure.
I have no idea. We were somebody was saying we were catching strays. So
Yeah.
this is from Cornhole Jesus himself. I just want to hear what he's saying.
Okay.
If y'all think Panthers fans gives a rat's ass on how we got into the playoffs, y'all have lost it. It's been almost 10 years, bro. I don't care. I don't care if we forfeit the game. Okay? This is a win for us. We're borderline Browns fans. We have to wear paper bags over our heads to the game. Do you really think we care if it's because another team?
Enough of that.
Yeah, that's enough of you, Cornhole Jesus. Hey, but guess what?
Enough of that.
Browns, we have a victory Monday among us.
God.
Again,
What a
back-to-back
great
weeks. Way to close out the season. Yeah, dude.
We
awesome.
so we have a bunch of stuff to get to. Before we do anything else, let's take a break.
Okay, we'll simmer down.
Dane, let the folks know what we're sipping on tonight in our favorite segment called What You Drinking?
What you drinking?
We're letting it rip with the tried and true, man. Some Miller Lights.
Oh, it's a Miller
All
Lite
right.
kind of night.
Yeah.
Browns won.
Exactly,
Draggin
yeah.
Bags got a victory.
I went to the Cavs game. It was a loss, but we looked okay. Faced Detroit, so
Dane looked
not
great.
the end of the world. I looked great, looked the part, as you can see. But yeah, Miller Lite, man. It's the nectar of the gods, and we just keep on feeding our gods. So let's do it.
Yep. All right. So this week, obviously, Audio Gold stacked to the max.
Oh.
All right. It was if you're a cornhole fan, you're going to be going 6 to midnight in this episode. All right. We're going to recap teams draft. We're going to recap everything that happened at Sig 1. It's just there's nothing else that we need this week.
Dare I say, plethora
of whole
cornholes, baby.
bunch of stuff. But before we get into all the cornhole stuff, we're going to let you know what's going on in our lives in a segment we call In and Around the Hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Well, trying to think what I've even done.
Dude, honestly, so I will say this is my first time I haven't swung a golf club in a week.
How you feeling?
Good.
Getting the itch?
Dude, honestly, I've been just working on things without a club in my hand, and I feel like
I still
it's
feel
gonna
like I'm
translate
okay.
well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I still feel like it's okay.
I'm still putting in the work outside of it.
Because we have league that starts back up Thursday.
Exactly. So I'm super excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, it was Happy New Year's, everybody.
Yeah, Happy New
obviously.
Year's.
And
2026. We're going.
yeah, just did the New Year's celebration at mom and dad's house. Hung out, had some adult beverages. Watched Ohio State get absolutely annihilated, which was so fun. And then, the rest of the week was just I worked all around the holiday, so I felt like it was just kind of a normal week.
Yeah.
And then the weekend came, and it was just kind of a blur, dude. Like Friday night, Amy and I did go out to a fun spot. Shout out to Birdie Town in Lakewood, Ohio.
Yeah.
It's actually on the same street that Tyler and Adrian used to live on.
Oh, okay.
Robin,
Yeah.
in Birdtown,
Okay.
the part of Lakewood.
Yeah.
And it's like a speakeasy putt spot.
No kidding.
So
Okay.
like you walk in, we got dinner there, and then played like 9 holes of putt. Very swanky, very fun. Like had a blast
Cool.
there. It was really cool putt. So if you're like looking for something to do around town, like highly recommend Birdie Town. Had a blast out there.
Sweet.
But besides that, dude, yeah, pretty low key week.
We had it was a hectic week in my house because we had my wife's side of the family. We always host New Year's.
Yes.
So we had my in-laws in town. We had her brother and sister and all the kids there. So at one time we had, was it 5? We had 7 kids in the house.
Fun.
It was just very loud. But it's fun. It's chaotic. Time goes by fast, but just basically just drinking, eating a lot of food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just
being
it's
fat
fun.
and
Yeah.
sassy.
Yeah,
Nothing
playing
wrong with that.
games. We got this new game system. It's called, oh man, like park or something like that, or like the playground.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's made by Microsoft. I think it's like the upgraded version of like the Kinect, because
Gotcha,
we can all
okay.
admit the Kinect sucked.
Yeah, it was
very
just too
choppy,
early. Yeah.
It's balling now. So
Okay.
we bought, and it's like comes preloaded with a bunch of games, and then they keep constantly are upgrading it. So we joined that, and like there's a bunch of fun games that are on there. So
Well, we'll be over soon enough.
did a bunch
to-
of that.
to
Friday
dabble.
night, took my daughter to the Cavaliers game.
Yeah.
She got to go on the court and be in line with and give the players high fives. Just like ran out from like halftime and stuff like that. So she thought she was like the coolest kid in the world after
Yeah.
that. So,
Of course, man. It's awesome to
Yeah.
dap up. I mean, dude, they're so tall.
Oh, and you
They're
just don't
just
realize just how
giant
big
human
they are.
beings
It's
until
crazy.
you're like right next to them.
Crazy. I felt so
Um,
short.
So like, yeah, I went to the Cavs game today. Obviously, you got to see a win. I saw a loss.
Yeah, sorry.
I will say, where we sit, I'm always in the area of catching things. When they
Mhm.
throw stuff out.
Especially the umbrellas.
Sean, I am like a glue trap. If there's anything within my arm's reach or like within jumping range, I don't miss.
Your athletic ability.
Yeah, dude, it is like they put me at the like close to the steps because they know they're like
That
just
was
let him out
Dane's
there
old nickname,
to
the
go
glue
catch it.
trap.
The old glue trap. But today, like they go out there, throwing the mini basketballs.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude, they're just like lobbing them in the crowd, and one like almost gets to me, but it's like just out of my reach behind me, and
Not just a glue trap.
sad day. Didn't catch that one. And then this, like, right when they're going to leave, this like little cheerleader chick just like whips one, and the dude in front of me holds his hands up, and I just go right in between it and just one hand it, palm it, just pull it up. And the guy turns out, he's like, "That was incredible." I'm like, "Yeah, sorry." Like, I just round the prize. And then I ended up giving it to the girl further down the aisle.
trap.
But like, yeah, like, but that's like, it's a known thing. They're like, when Dane goes to the sporting events, just put him near the aisle, because they tend to like throw it towards aisleways, I
Fair
guess. And every time I feel like I catch something. Every time.
Fair enough.
I come home with like a shirt that's always a large.
I will admit, when we went to the game, sat in those seats, you caught one of the parachute things.
Yeah,
that came
that's what I'm
dropping
saying.
down from the sky.
Anything that comes in my
Yeah.
general range,
It's
I
pretty
tend to
crazy.
catch. But like, what pisses me off though is like, you see me in the crowd. If you're trying to throw me a shirt, don't throw me a large. All right, like that's a slap to my face. Why do they only give away large and XLs
first
for
of all,
everything?
can we address that?
Yeah, we go to like playoff games or
Yeah.
something, and like they have a large on my seat, and I'm supposed to wear that.
Yeah, well,
Nobody wants to see a sausage
Can we just
casing
chuck
walking
out
around.
double X?
Yes.
Like, just that seems
Let
fair.
me go exchange,
Just-
or
yeah.
like just text me, be like, "Hey, what shirt size are you? Here's
Yeah,
your seat.
correct.
I'll put your appropriate size down for you." But
Correct.
that's just little gripe for myself. But still have lovely times at Cavs games.
for sure.
One of those second best sporting events in Cleveland to go to.
Yeah. I'm trying to think anything else really happened. No, nothing.
Dude, honestly, like I needed a
I
week
cleaned
of
out my
recovery.
basement today.
Oh, there you go.
So like
Hell yeah.
just purged a bunch of stuff. It feels so good. Like I love just getting rid of shit. It's like, it sounds so weird, but like we need to make room for like all this new Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
So I had like this rack system. I put down in the basement, cleared out spots for
Oh,
my
moved
wife
out
to
of the
organize.
garage?
Yeah, correct.
Finally, all right.
Yes, correct. Finally did it. So I just woke up at 8:30 this morning. I went downstairs and just started going. My wife's like, "Can I just sit here?" I'm like, "I didn't ask you to come down with me. Like, I'm perfectly fine going down here by myself and
Yep.
doing this. Like, you can just like hang out with the kids. You had to work all day yesterday, remember?" So I'll just take care of that because then I know I can get rid of more stuff. She's very more sentimental. She's like, oh, but do you remember the one time she looked at it? And I'm like, I don't care.
Nope, I don't remember that.
So can I throw it away then if I don't remember it? So
if their blood's not on it, then they can go in the trash.
for sure. So I guess let's start off with the draft.
Dude, yeah. So we obviously went live for the draft. Had some technical difficulties because
we still don't understand what happened because on our end,
Facebook just cut it out on us.
We didn't realize it the first time until we saw the chat because on our end, we can still see our camera fine. But then when we go check the feed, like we can see it like, okay, it's black. We don't know what happened. And the fact that it happened twice is weird.
So our apologies.
Can they cut you off for like swearing or something? Like in
dude,
Facebook?
I have no idea. Like we
don't have anything like offensive in our background. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I mean, unless they say the Wahoo's.
Yeah, because they didn't mute us though, because they can still hear it.
Yeah, but like it was just our camera feed was just.
I don't know.
I think
why.
it was just a disconnect between like OBS and that. But like our apologies again. But still did the full coverage, best of our abilities.
For
and dude, thank you ACL for putting it on.
Yeah,
all right?
first of all.
Because it was fun to watch. Like all of us were invested heavily in it.
Was it a little chaotic? Absolutely, but you know we knew it was going to be, and that's okay. At least, but exactly that was part of the fun.
Just the live views in the war room, you could see the anxiety going on.
It started off right away because we were late to it, and I'm trying to see who was drafted, and all of a sudden we get in, and it's like the third pick, and I completely missed that the number one pick was traded away right off the bat. You had Sammy Soto, so going into the draft. It was pretty much accepted that Soto, like Aiken, there were like a few names like Alex Rawls were kind of like the big names that were available right away. Las Vegas trades up and gets Sammy Soto, and they trade their 10, 11, and then the 31st pick, and then they basically just swap positions for a few times. But really, Las Vegas, it's smart. If you can go get Sammy Soto at 1, go get your boy at 1.
Yeah, exactly. Go scoop him up. Bring him in, bring him home.
Because now you can put cash in singles.
Yeah.
And you have Soto and Cano.
A dominant doubles team from last year.
Sammy Soto, we'll hear about, spoiler alert, he won his bracket. He's really good in singles too.
Yeah, he's a pretty good cornhole player on the single side too. So yeah, you're not in a bad spot whatsoever with that little start there.
I think allowing is a bad term. I think that Kentucky giving Las Vegas that opportunity and that's all they got, I feel like it wasn't enough.
I agree.
It wasn't enough of a haul. It wasn't enough for Sammy. So for the number one pick, the Colonels would be like, no, we'll just take Sammy. We're good. No, we'll take Sammy. We're fine.
You moved back
Sammy
way too
would
far
look
in the draft.
very nice in green and gold.
Yeah.
He would. His eyes would sparkle.
You could have given up that first round pick for probably anyone in the first couple spots for like if you didn't want
Correct.
Sammy Soto and had your first pick of this draft be far sooner than the number 10th and 11th. But.
So Las Vegas goes from, they had the 10th pick in the draft. They end up trading, like we just said. They get Soto. They turn Cano and Cash into, they also add Soto, Ryan Smith, Eddie Grindersleeve, and then Jaden Ellis. Now, I think Soto completely made sense. I think Ryan Smith and Eddie G were definitely a little bit of a surprise there, just given who was available at the time. Las Vegas is owned by Rich Chamness, all right, owner of BG.
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised that he wasn't staying in-house, especially after he made the work to go get Cano.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, to Soto. And then he went, Eddie G is like, he's been around forever, and he was a BG guy for a very long time. And then drafting Ryan Smith right after that, to me, the only thing that makes sense out of that is that Rich really values professionalism.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Like
agree
guys that he
100%,
doesn't have to worry about, that they're going to show up on time, and he doesn't have to worry about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if you think about a tandem team, Eddie G and Ryan Smith.
Yeah. It's a scary, like, you know, they're just going to pour bags in the hole. I mean,
that's kind of, like, it's kind of nasty if you think about
100%,
it.
yeah.
And then Jaden Ellis, I heard this weekend, it's
he put out.
one, he played very, very well. He was somebody 2-3 years ago that everyone was touting as like, oh man, if he was a pro, he'd be running stuff.
Yep.
And then he kind of had like a lackluster season or two, but from what I heard, he was playing very, very well. It was a little bit of a surprise they went that direction, but he's a really talented player.
I mean, you scooped up a hot thrower right now, so we'll see if it translates in the end.
If you're grading Vegas, what would your grade be for them?
For their draft spot,
For
with
the overall draft.
what they ended up, I would give them a solid B+.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
I love Soto, right? That automatically, to me, that gives you an A.
Again, we're like, these are best of 3 series if you need to play tandem. Now you have
No. It's tandem goes live at the same time.
Okay, that's what I'm. All right, so you win 2 of the 3. You
Correct.
literally set yourself up to win 2 of those a lot with those guys that you started off with the first 3. So
Correct.
it's a good start.
Second pick of the draft was Virginia Cutters. They started off with Devin Harbaugh and Clayton Kennedy. Their first pick of the draft, and I don't know if they were planning on going this way, but he definitely played his way into that position. They ended up going Ryan Windsor.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about it, the more it kind of just made sense too, because Devin Harbaugh and Ryan Windsor have a lot of history together.
100%.
They play Spencer's together every year and have done very, very well there. Like they go way back. It kind of makes sense. And with how good Windsor was looking this weekend, it definitely, he earned that position. And I'm not going to argue about that at all.
He played his way into being drafted in a high draft pick, and I don't disagree with him being a first overall pick, not even the second pick, just because the name power with Ryan Windsor, if he turns it on like he did this week, the guy's not going anywhere. He's going to be in the conversation pretty much. I feel like sig in, sig out. We're going to keep saying Windsor. So I like where he's at right now. He looks sharp.
They follow up Ryan Windsor with drafting Ryan Trader, Tanner Halbert, and Noel Manza.
It's kind of a weird team on paper when you're looking over top, but just because like it's lacking that, like who's going to play singles for you out of that whole crew?
I think you could make an argument for Ryan Trader.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. But like
or you just make Ryan Windsor. Ryan Windsor plays single. Maybe Harbaugh and Trader, and Clayton Kennedy and Halbert, or Halbert Almanza. Dude, like I mean,
they have a versatile team.
They're solid.
Yeah.
Again,
there's a lot of question marks on like what does Almanza look like this year?
In the write up that I did, I asked a question: was who's going to show up? Which Ryan Trader is going to show up? If it's Ryan Trader from 2 years ago, man, this is going to be a really fun year.
Yeah.
I think he's getting closer to that.
I agree.
I don't think he's 100% there. Like, I don't think we'll ever see that dominant performance again, but he's a really good player. If this first signature was a window into what we could expect in the future, I think this pick is going to make a lot more sense at the end of the year.
Now, there's the Ryan Trader thing. My argument is this is now year 2 of not being able to step over.
Yeah.
I think he starts to make that adjustment. Then by the end of this season, I think we see Ryan Trader of old.
Okay, so I got to give kudos. So the next pick after this was the California Slingers. They started off with Forbes and Fabular, right? So that's a pretty good start.
That's
for
a nice
Cali.
start.
In doubles, again, spoiler alert, you're going to hear it.
Yeah.
They end up going with Zach Aiken, which was a little bit of a surprise, only because he's not a Brotherhood guy. But I get it. He was the best player on the board. He was definitely the widely considered the best junior on the board. You just take him. You don't ask questions. Load up talent.
Yeah.
You follow Aiken up with Chris Roybal. Now, we're huge fans of Roybal. He's been a guest on the show. We've been saying for years how good this guy is, but he did not play well in singles.
Yeah.
All right. He did not have a good day in singles. But damn, does that make him look smart? All of a sudden, when you have 3 of the 4 guys that found themselves in the finals of doubles,
of broadcast,
I mean, that's pretty good, all right?
Yeah.
That's analyzing talent. So listen, Brent, tip of the cap. After Roybal, they go Hunter Thorson, which again, that makes sense. He's a Brotherhood guy, staying in the family.
For sure.
And then they end up with Tommy Sliker, who I love the pick. I was worried that he wasn't going to get drafted because he was getting down to it. He deserves to get picked.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like he's played very well. He's out there on social media. He's got a following. Like, he's marketable. Like he's fun.
Here with anyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he's
just
great.
fine.
Hell yeah. He's a vibes guy, and he's a hell of a player. So that's the kind of guy you want to surround yourself with. I was happy he picked him up. Brent, I think Brent did very well. I think
I cannot wait for the California Slingers like draft song or something coming out. So Tommy, we're on the lookout for that.
Let's go back to Virginia just for a second. What would you give draft grade? So again, they went Ryan Windsor, Ryan Trader, Tanner Halbert, Noel Manza.
I'm going to give them a C overall.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Just because in the moment, like when we were going over the picks, like who was available, we were not able to peg a single person that they took that entire draft because there were always bigger names in our opinion on the board.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to
draft.
argue. Yeah, I'm not going to argue. Callie.
Dude, I'm giving them an A.
I'm going to do an A-, and that's just because I think just because one signature doesn't matter for everything.
Yeah.
I think that starting off with Forbes and Fabianar puts you in a fantastic position because I think we're going to see them a lot, and they're very versatile. I think that it's a great start. Grabbing Aiken's a great pick. Roybal, if he can continue to do it.
Yeah.
Thorson and Sliker, and then it's who's playing better at the time.
My hot take is that you're going to see Fabianar and Forbes do tandem for them.
Okay, maybe. Next pick in the draft, we had Texas Bully Baggers. They were already starting off with Logan Chamberlain and Gabe Clausen.
Yeah.
Their first pick, they went JBJ, and then they actually traded with Arizona Burn 2 spots down, and then they ended up getting Jordan Power 2 picks later. So they in the first round they grabbed Justin Burton Jr., Jordan Power. They followed that up with Ty Thompson, and then in the last round they grabbed Matt Wilson. Similar to Tommy Sliker, Matt did not have a great first day. Sounds like he was also under the weather a little bit.
We had insider info, aka him, coming on saying that he was sicker than a dog. So
he has played well enough in the past, and he is out there enough social media and has a presence out there that he deserved to be on a roster somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it was a very wise pick by Texas to grab someone outside of like that realm.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
To wrap it up, like that's a very smart, like savvy, like business type move.
100%.
And I think it made a lot of sense.
Well, and it's
I'm
also
excited to
somebody
see
that
the
like,
content that comes out with that.
hey, he does a lot of content. So if you need a little help
sure.
in that avenue, like he takes.
And they did their
a couple
homework,
shekels
like
to
getting
do
a
some
guy
of that
like
shit.
Jordan Power.
Yes.
Jordan Power did great in singles, and he's fiery, right? Like, so somebody did their research. I would be very interested to know, like, did they interview any of these guys? Did they talk to any of these guys, or is it all like word of mouth kind of guy? Because I don't think like Jordan Power doesn't run with like that crew of guys. You know what I mean?
Not that I would think. Dude, honestly, like, so before we get to the draft grade, just outside looking in, does it bother you at all that this team is Texas Bully Baggers? Because it does for me. You just hear Texas and you want like Texas has become this like mecca of a certain personality of cornhole that I was really hoping that it would be. And honestly, you have
3 of them.
I know you have 3 of them. Team. Just selfishly, I wanted them to have like the Texas boys like go in.
But we have to remember this is a professional sports league, right?
Yes. I know.
Every
and not
member of the
everyone's
Cleveland
drafted.
Brown is
I
like
get
the
it.
hometown
I get
guy.
it. I understand. Just I'm talking as a selfish fan.
I just agreed. Though.
Yeah,
cornhole. I know.
Sad. Like
this is cornhole. This is us growing up though in cornhole, right? I know it sucks. Sometimes it sucks to grow older, but like this is part of it. You know what I mean? Like,
I sneezed today. I thought I threw my back out.
I mean, it does. It's just what happens. All right. So overall grade for me.
I'm giving them an A too.
Yeah, I do. To me, like them and Cali are very similar. Like I like their squads very, very much the same. So I'm going to go A- as well.
They have a lot of guys that they're going to get up for teams. Like Logan Chamberlain's a guy that he's always loved teams.
Yeah.
Clausen just brings it anytime he's out there. And Jordan Power, same thing. Dude just loves to play cornhole.
The next pick is Georgia.
Yes.
They started off with Smith and Richards. Their first pick in the draft, Eric Davis. Kind of made sense. We actually kind of predicted that. He's a former Lucky Bags guy. He was 1-2. I thought maybe they could have gone Alex Rawls there. Mm-hmm. But again, the history of, Eric Davis and Mike Hennessy makes sense.
Eric Davis on a singles board is that one guy that nobody ever wants to face because he's just in a one-off match. He's scary as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's in tandem. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think he's just a really good player.
Fits, dude. Yeah.
They follow up Eric Davis with Ethan Farias, Austin Waskow, and then Jacob Harrison. Austin Waskow falling to the third round was really weird.
I mean that
I know he didn't
could be
play
the steal
well,
of the draft,
but now I'm wondering was he sick too or something?
Dude, I mean there's clearly something going on.
He was
going around.
He ended up 5th last year, people.
Yeah,
and he fell to the 3rd round, and he was passed by Las Vegas.
This is only
by Texas Bully Baggers.
Let's be real. It's the first signature. It's a small sample size of.
And I think a name that doesn't get enough notice right now is Jacob Harrison. How well he's been playing recently.
We had a lot of people chiming in on his name, as that being a really sneaky good pick. So I I like it.
I know some of the names on this are not as sexy as like maybe Texas, right? Like the Jordan Powers name, just
Yeah.
fucking sexy. Ty Thompson, right? Like it's just like the hot names. But man, like Georgia's right there. I'm
Dude,
telling
Ethan,
you, like
Ethan Farias and Waskow, those two picks alone, man, like they're scary. And obviously Eric Davis is a nice addition, but like if that's your tandem is Farias and Waskow, like, whew,
yeah.
good night. I mean, yeah, I just saw you wrote down an A- on that
Yeah.
one. I was going to give them a B plus.
Okay.
But that's just like name power wise. I felt like,
Okay.
you know, maybe you could have had another one or two in there, but Steele and Waskow, I mean, that was the savior.
All right. So then we have Florida Freeze next. So, yes. Yeah. Florida Freeze. They start off with Trey Birchfield, Adam Hissner. They start off with Alex Rawls. Makes sense. Just talking. They were hoping certain players were falling down. We had the opportunity to talk to Chauncey last night during happy hour. He was nice enough to stop by. Alex Rawls, them getting a Florida guy, a guy who on my big board I think was like third or fourth, made sense. I mean, that's just grab him and you don't ask questions. He's really good, and he showed today that he's back in form.
Yeah, he's looking good. So,
they follow up Alex Rawls with Justin Rule.
High PPR guy, definitely high up on our board, but probably not on everyone's board.
Chase White, and then PJ Knott. Now, Justin Rule was, I almost wonder, could they have waited one more round to get Rule? I don't know, because I think they were worried about Kentucky maybe taking
I think
him.
he was going to get snatched up. And honestly, like Justin Rule again, consummate highest PPR.
Oh, and teams he killed it last year.
Yes, and he is like the best teams player from last season. So like it's not, even though he's not high up on people's board, like I loved the pick when they got him.
Chase White is a guy that I don't think necessarily he played his way in on Sig 1, but is a name that people will start to become very familiar with. He played excellent against Matt Guy. Matt Guy took him to like the depth and just couldn't quite hold on, but I was very impressed by this dude. And he's quickly gaining a name for being a killer.
Well,
So
he might have had the most comments to us when he was taken.
Okay.
Everyone was just like, Chase White, yeah, like a great pick. So like, yeah, I'll listen to the people and agree that like that was a good take for that pick.
And I think a lot of us, us included, were surprised that Sebastian Schaefer Ford wasn't the last pick because he was still available. He's a swag bag guy. Chauncey's swag bag owner. We thought that maybe this would kind of fall in.
Is PJ also a swag bag too?
PJ is also swag bag, and he's also sponsored by George, the other co-owner. So
Gotcha. Okay.
It just made sense.
Take that and like honestly, like
good player.
Again, you can always sign guys on for like single contracts and stuff to come in and play. But like maybe Schaefer Ford just like didn't want to have to stick around or something. Because like don't these guys get out earlier if they're not on a team now?
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean there's always that too.
Chicagoland, so Freeze, where are we going with grade wise? I think I'm gonna go B here.
I think I'm gonna go I'll go B as well. Just flat B on it. I like it.
Chicagoland
It's not
Spinners.
sexy, but it was good.
Very interesting. They start off with Colin Hoda, Ethan Walker. Love it, right? Off the wall a little bit. You don't know quite where there's so many different combinations you can go with. Very two dirty style players, right?
Yeah.
Great start. You had Brian Wiedenfeld. After today, looked pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You follow Wiedenfeld up with AJ Sims, Jimmy Humans, and Morse. Now, getting David Morse with the last pick is so underrated because then you are instantly giving Ethan Walker his doubles guy.
Yeah.
We expect Walker and Morse to be a top 10 team by the end of the season, right?
And they're already well within that.
Right. So they're right there. They had a very good, solid day today. Who did they end up losing to? You watched the match.
Oh, it was Trzynski and no. Jeez, I'm thinking of singles match. I watched them all like back to back today. Yes, it was Fabinar and
Forbes.
And Forbes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Did they win their bracket? Morrison, Walker?
Yeah. They're on the final four.
Final four. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, again, you put a top, potentially top 5 team, right? And you just happen to grab Morrison in the last round, and then you have all of a sudden
they lost to Wiedenfeld and Roybal. I'm sorry. I wanted to see. Yeah,
I gotcha. All of a sudden you have Wiedenfeld, you have Hodet, you have AJ Sims, you have Humans. I mean, I really
Humans pick was like, and Sims, both of those guys. I'm like consummate pro pick. You know what you're gonna get. Like good solid throwers, dude. Like this, after this first SIG, it's hard to not put them as like the top team right now. But
if these guys all buy in and they take this shit seriously,
they're scary. They're
Yeah, man.
very scary.
I think that they're a team that I think a lot of the other teams we're going to see like, all right, they have their stable singles dude. They have their stable doubles team. I think this team, we can see it mixing
Yeah,
up.
they can shift it
Yeah,
up
man.
base and like go like matchup.
Let's say Ethan Walker has, and again, I don't know this, but let's say Matt Guy has Ethan Walker's number,
Yeah.
right? And for some reason, and you're going to be going against Kentucky, and Matt Guy always plays singles for Kentucky. Maybe you throw Colin Hoda. It's like I've never lost to the motherfucker.
Exactly. Just
All right,
like-
Colin. All right, let's switch it up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that gives them a little bit of. I really like it, man.
How fun would it be to watch Hodette and Walker throw though?
Oh yeah, it was fun. Oh yeah,
Every back would roll. It'd be insane.
yeah. I'm gonna give him an A. I really like it. Getting
I
Morris.
liked it too,
Again,
man.
I know more. Again, Morris is so underrated, and he's not like the sexy name, but like that just, man, that just gives them so much flexibility now. All of a sudden, I think with this team,
Seeing how well Wiedenfeld is throwing right now,
scary.
like
It must be the bags.
I think
it's
you
got
have
to be
to-
bags, right? It
yeah.
has to be.
But I also think you might have to put a little plus next to that one because
No one
They-
gets a perfect grade.
perfect
grades.
I mean, I'm just saying like that pick alone should have catapulted. He looks
Now,
phenomenal.
This
right
is
now.
coming up now. Again, this is. I know we're being nice here. I thought a lot of teams did a very nice job, and
Dude,
again,
honestly, yeah,
again, guess what? There's only 4 rounds. Every team's really fucking good.
yeah, they're
All right,
really
there's a
good.
secret to
There's
it.
only like 60 people taken out of the top 100, and the fact that we were able to almost call each pick as it was coming up should tell you that like all these guys did their research and they all built pretty solid squads. I mean, there's only a couple question marks, and I think those are coming up here in a minute.
All right, so we had Carolina Coasters. They have the 9th pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
They start with Jamie Graham, Jacob Trzynski. Again, really nice
Yeah.
start. I mean, especially
It's decent.
after, I mean,
It's
just
decent. I've
crazy.
There's one better start.
they start homegrown and they stay on brand with AAR. They go Derek Holland. He was, to me, next to Austin Waskow, the next best guy on the board at the time.
Yeah.
Completely made sense for
Good
them to
pick.
go Derek Holland. Dude, he just fucking wins, man. He just is really good. And you know what you're going to get. And he's an adult and he's going to show up and he's going to try hard.
Absolutely.
You followed it up when you get Jackson Gore. Another Carolina dude, AAR, super talented. He's passionate. You got to love that.
Yeah.
And then you get Gio Mora, right? And we're all sitting there, we're like, really good player. Don't get me wrong. Gio's really good, right? But it's like from California?
Yeah.
Like, what the
It
fuck?
was just kind of weird.
It comes through that apparently Jamie has been spending a lot of time out in California where his girlfriend lives.
Yeah.
And has been playing against Gio quite a bit and has noticed just how good he is. Fast forward around, and then they go ahead and grab Adrian Brunson. And it makes sense.
Gio's partner.
Gio and Brunson are partners.
Yep.
Wow.
Killer. Yeah.
Full
Great
circle.
great little closeout for their draft, man. That was and like a certified killer team in those last 2 picks, and then you have like
And you're
pick
starting
your
off with Holland and
poison
Gore.
for Holland or Gore for singles. Either one, like scary as well.
Again, like this
I would love
is-
to see Holland actually play singles, just because he's like the one guy out of all these teams that I feel like would just be a bag runner in the singles realm, unless like Matt Guy would turn to singles too. But like you're not going to see much of that. And in the teams format, where is it going to be round limited?
I thought that wasn't that the thing. Was that was the one time they were keeping it was
So if it's round limited for teams, like I like bag runners in singles personally.
yeah.
I think they have a lot of success. So just my 2 cents.
I thought they were very solid. Again, I'm going to give you the A-. I think that Jim Moore and Brunson, they're very good players, but again, like this is pros. They're all really good
Yeah,
players.
we weren't seeing that.
I thought that the strategy of picking them together, that made sense.
Yes.
And it was smart into like being able to add that in. Maybe they're really good at tandem. You know what I mean? Like
It
that
would
could
have
be
easily
excellent,
been a
but-
B if they didn't take Brunson.
correct.
I'm there with you. But yeah, A
Yeah, I'm
minus
go-
is good, man.
Yeah, A-, B+. I'm kind of like right
Just
there.
because you can see the
I,
vision
we've been
of what
too
they're
nice. I'm
going
going B+.
for. All right. Yeah, like to me, it's just like you can see the vision they're going for on it, though.
Correct.
Like, yeah, it was a reach on those last 2, but get
So
them now.
The last pick in the first round went to Kentucky Colonels.
Yeah.
Kentucky Colonels started off with Matt Guy and Gage Landis. Again, Gage was not, I don't want to say he was like a shock that he was a franchise player. I thought he would have been a first round draft pick anyways. I just didn't see him necessarily going Kentucky.
Yeah.
Really good player though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Very contrasting styles to start.
I'm
so it's kind
happy
of
for him,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. They start off with Colby Shearer and Nyberg, which is super interesting because I kind of believe that if Shearer would have been there on the turn back to Carolina,
Yeah.
Carolina probably would have
They're going
drafted
that
Shearer.
route, for sure.
He was on the team last year. He's from Carolina. It kind of makes sense. They end up going Jackson Gore, so all works out. But then they also grabbed Nyberg.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought Nyberg might have been Brotherhood's first pick in that first
Yeah,
round.
with the slingers, yeah.
I think that if Nyberg gets past Kentucky, I think he makes his way all the way up to California and he gets drafted there. So it kind of just changes stuff. So it's like Kentucky's like, I don't know if they're looking at everyone else's big boards and be like, all right, they are all pretty highly rated. Let's go with these guys.
Let's go with these guys. Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, like I thought there were better options out there than these two.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have conviction about certain players, go out and get it. And
if
I thought
you just want to
Nyberg
play spoiler,
played well enough
done.
this weekend to earn a spot to get drafted.
Yeah.
Do I think he was going to be like a first round draft pick? No, but listen, go
Technically, he was second.
for it. He was
round.
correct. They follow that up with Chris Kingsbury.
You like it?
Again, just a professional player, made another deep run in singles.
Yeah.
Goes 2-3 rounds in winners bracket, and then he grinds it out 4 or 5 rounds and finds himself in, I think, like the semifinals of the losers bracket.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude just has been around for a long time. He's really, really good. And then you follow that up with Frank Modlin. And the only reason this makes sense is because the Escalade Sports Group, or Escalade Inc., I believe is like the owners of the Kentucky Colonels.
Yeah.
They're the ones that recently just bought all cornhole and have, you know what I mean? So there's just some schnoodling there. So like, again, Frank's a really nice dude. There were a lot better options.
I mean, in
there.
my opinion, though, you drafted a mascot for this team. I mean, you're only starting 5. So like, I mean, when it,
who's really excited
come in?
that Frank Modlin got drafted? Nyberg, Shearer, and Kingsbury.
Yes,
you're going to
they're
play.
Yeah.
You're going to play.
And again, it's no slight to Frank Modlin. What he's done for the game, yes.
Now, if
I
you
am
know,
here
if
for
you-
it, but he had no business being drafted in this draft.
So I'm going to give this draft a C.
I'm getting it like the Modlin pick alone. I'm giving it a C-.
All right, a C-. I'm not going to disagree. Now, the if you noticed, if you're paying attention at home, that was only 9 teams, but we're done through the first round. That's because the Arizona Burn traded out of the first round.
Yes, they did.
They started off their team with Caitlin Allshouse and Riley Schaff. 2 very good females. They've been dominating the women's doubles division so far, right? So, okay. They traded out of the first round, and then once that happened, that pretty much confirmed our suspicion that they were going to be going after an all-female team. That was the case.
Yes.
They end up drafting Sam Finley, Gina Ramirez, Sarah Cassidy, and Cameron Belvin.
Cam Belvin.
Now, listen, they knew their stuff because if you saw the finals, it was Sarah Cassidy, Cameron Belvin. So,
There
you know
you
what I
go.
mean? Like,
Yeah, got
they
them both.
picked the best of the women. Now, this is going to be a tough one to grade. And like, I am not trying to be an asshole here. I'm just trying to be a realist. I think that in one way, drafting an all-female team gives you a very unique marketing opportunity.
Yeah, we're not drafting for marketability though. We're drafting for how do you think your performance is
I
gonna be
think
during
that
the
it can
season?
be a challenging marketing because most people, when it comes to teams, care about winning. They want a winning franchise.
Yeah.
Historically speaking, in the pro division, women have not typically stacked up well head to head against men. Now, any given Sunday, I completely get this, and they play in the pro division. They're all crazy talented. They would kick my ass up and down the court, no questions asked.
Yes.
But I think that if marketed correctly, they have an opportunity to become like the female favorite team.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
They could become the fan favorite
you just
team.
found fandom for probably a quarter of the ACL, which is what I'm giving the women footprint on the ACL right
Okay.
now. A quarter of their fandom female. So you're going to have a quarter of that rushing to one team. Marketability, brilliant. If they win, even better.
Oh man.
Like you just hit a grand slam. But if we're being realist, like that is a long shot from them being victorious throughout this now.
Because it's a bracket format. So
Yeah.
not only do you have to win, like you're not just going like head to head and like, yay, we won. Like now you got to win like not just one match, but you got to go win like 2, 3, 4 matches in a row just to take it down to be at Worlds to be involved in that
Yeah.
competition.
Now it's also hard too because like yes, you took all the best women in the world, but guess who aren't like best friends? All the best women in the world. Like none of them really like they're not like friends with each other.
But to be fair, I don't think like Matt Guy and Gage Landis are besties.
no, I understand. We're going back to this.
I don't
like,
think Kingsbury
pro
and
realm, but
Modlin are like
you're like we're going back. I know you're like throwing that like, oh, this is a pro team now. Like in our
Yeah.
face, like you can't have homegrown people. Blah blah blah.
not not just that.
But
I'm saying they are
you're
professional
asking-
people though.
Yes, but you were asking all of these women to buy into a team of all females when don't you think Sam Finley would rather be on like Florida Freeze with a chance to like earn money amongst her other like Florida compadres? But like, that's my only argument.
No, listen, I hope the women that were drafted take pride in it. I hope that they go out and be like, listen, we're going to go out and smoke these motherfuckers and make us eat our world.
I'm just saying, I hope that happens. The devil's advocate, I'm just saying, like, in the back of their head, are they going to be like, well, I kind of wish I was with like, a team of like the guys I face all the time.
I hope that's not the case, but I don't think it's an unfair question to ask.
Yeah.
100%.
But at the same time, yes, they could definitely, if they all buy into it and they torch something, like that's a fucking marketing dream if they come out hot and start winning.
I think one of the interesting things that brings about all this stuff with trading, and one of the things that I asked that nobody seemed to understand, and I asked multiple team owners, hey, you traded away your first round draft pick, and there's an ACL, there's a salary cap that these guys that the owners all agreed to pay, that they can't go over, but that based on where you're drafted, whether you're a franchise player or what round you're drafted in, you're offered a certain sum of money. All right. I'm going to try to find that exact chart here as I'm kind of rattling through this shit.
It was like, I remember it was, I think it was it was like 2,000 to 4,000 for first round, something like that.
Yeah. So my question was, Arizona burn. You traded out of the first round, and they drafted 2 players in the second round. They had Sam Finley, and then they drafted Gina Ramirez. My question is it the round that they're drafted in determines where you're paying them, or is it just that, hey, you were my first player selected, so you get this range? You were my second player, so you're my second round draft pick. Mm-hmm. Same thing goes for the other way. Like you had the Texas Bully Baggers.
Jordan Power, and
you have 2 first round picks. So I would argue, if I'm Jordan Power, I know I was your second player taken, but I'm still a first round draft pick. I would fully expect to still get paid in that first round range.
Yeah.
That's what I'm interested in.
Which I think they can, as long as they stay within that 100% salary cap.
The problem is, if you offer everybody a max deal, you're over that cap.
Well, because they traded out of the second round though. So you lose that cap space.
I get it, but if you still offer Logan Chamberlain, if you're max everybody, you're gonna get.
Well, I thought all max out was 21,000.
No, it's not. If you do the math, it's not.
It's not.
Okay. If you do the high end of every
Isn't that
contract,
what it's said in the asterisk at the bottom of that? Okay, so
that's why it's a salary cap. Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like I did the math. Like if you do the high end for all 6 players, you do not have enough.
Okay,
like
so you got to find somewhere to shave it. Is there like a cap penalty?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like those are the kind of things that, again, like ACL did a great job. I'm trying not to like rain on their parade. This is just constructive criticism.
These are the question marks that people are going to have moving forward. So like we got to get the answers.
This is not turning into an ACL pitch session. That's all I'm saying. Like these are the questions that I have like for draft picks, and I think that's the kind of the interesting stuff going forward. Like they're not crazy contracts we're going through. We're not signing guys to 10-year deals. But this as a cornhole nerd, and we want to get into certain teams. Like this is the kind of stuff that is fascinating.
Yeah, that's the inner workings of the ground floor.
And it might be something that the ACL and the owners, they never even thought about, because like they didn't even, we talked to 2 owners, they didn't even know that trading was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
They really didn't. And then all of a sudden the first trade happened. They're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and as soon as the trade happened, like we heard from 2 team owners, like during our call, they're like, the floodgates open and the panic started. Like literally the first pick started just panic on everyone, which is awesome. Like love that. No, but all in all, like the draft,
it was fun,
very fun, man. Like it's still one of my favorite things that the ACL does.
It makes me not want them to like. It's almost like I want them to restart a new group of guys every year, and I know that's dumb because it's a franchise. You kind of want to like a group of dudes to build around. But what if it's just like your franchise is like, that's what you're building around.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the New York Yankees are not like they're the Yankees. It doesn't matter who you fucking have lining up for them. You know
what I'm hoping is like, next year, yes, we have 10 this year. Next year we expand to like the full 16.
Hopefully.
And then you have that expansion draft.
Yeah.
And then from in and out, it's like, if you lose a player and player comes in, then that's who you're drafting after that. Like, it's just like little pieces to build your team after that. Or you can just do it like fantasy football, like Dynasty, where like if you draft him and like he was your first round pick and you don't want him back next year, then you get a first round pick. Shit, that's like that.
Kind of,
yeah, that would be amazing. if it went the dynasty aspect of it, like
I
that
think
would
there's
be
a lot of
super
fun
cool.
ways that they can go about this, and I think
Especially with
that's
the
kind of
salary cap in play too. There's a lot of ways that you can make this like a very unique type league
Because
moving forward.
if I'm Texas, like let's say Jordan Power doesn't pan out or Justin Burton Jr. doesn't pan out, you let him go and you trade away your first round draft pick, get back under salary cap.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's when it kind of gets fun. Like I know we're jumping the gun. I think it was fun. I'm looking forward to teams. I want the same energy all throughout the season. Now, I'm hopeful that because we have these independent owners now responsible for the teams, there's going to be a lot more out there.
Yes, there should be.
So I'm excited. Like I want the season to get under.
And like even like to the team owners too, you need to post everything, even if it's not the outcome you wanted. Don't just like omit that from social media. That's not how you earn followers. You have to keep posting even when it's not the outcome you're looking for.
Yeah.
Like that's the only way you build anything. So
The one thing I still think the ACL misses, especially my big gripe was that I miss selfishly the fact that I can't go pick which matchup I go to watch on a live stream anymore. I get it though. They want all the eyes on one court. It makes sense for streaming version. I do understand that. I still wish that they had the ability of someone walking around, and this would be like a dream job of mine, walking around doing interviews throughout the session.
Yeah.
After guys win, someone live tweeting or live posting about results or what they just saw, and just like anything that they're hearing throughout the day. Like that's what that's what makes it fun. Because like the only information you're getting the rest of the day is through the live stream.
They also need foot soldiers
that's what
during
I'm
the
saying.
tournament to just live stream, just pop up on a big match. Yeah, you can't get it over to the main court. That's fine. Just have somebody run over with a camera, their phone. Like, give me a Chris Torntola on that mic real quick.
Do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, get back to that. I understand you want the
kind of
viewership
like the
on the
Manning
main court.
Yeah, I know.
But it doesn't go anywhere. That feed is there the whole time. People just want to go back and be able to find certain matches after the fact, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to give the people what they want because everyone hears that, like, oh, did you see that one match?
Yeah.
And you try to go back and find it, and, like, you don't know whose feed it's on and stuff. If it's just through the ACL, it makes everything that much easier.
Well, when we're at the Cleveland SIG, we will do our best to live stream as many matches as we can because, like, I know that's what people want.
I was actually going to reach out, like, see if we wanted to, like, ask, like a Thomas Hoffman or, like, an AJ. Be like, hey, do you guys want to, like, help us out and, like, just, like, be admins on our page for a couple days and just get as many people out there to just start streaming stuff as we can. So I mean, we'll see. We got time. We'll work on it
for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll move on over to the first signature of the year,
the actual cornhole action.
I think Dane said it best. Cornhole's back.
It's back, baby.
And I think this weekend and the quality of games truly got to showcase just how good players have gotten. And if a casual viewer just happened to turn on and they were sitting there, I think the players did such a fantastic job of showcasing what this game could be.
Yes.
It was just a really overall solid weekend, I think, for the ACL.
I felt like every finals broadcast, you had guys that, they weren't they had moments where they weren't their sharpest.
No, but
and then
guess what?
Hit shots that were fucking phenomenal. Like it was everything you could ask for.
But guess what? You have Matt Guy
across
making the senior
cornhole.
championship. You need that. Like you need something
100%.
like that to bolster it up, to build up that division. And going against Jeff Reynolds, they have a long fucking history.
Yeah.
Jeff's very popular name in the business.
But where you put that though, it put me to bed.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry. Like it's. If I'm sitting there watching the singles finals coming through, like you got to just let it roll into it. I know it's an unfair advantage for the guy that just got off the court or for the guy that's was sitting for a little bit longer, but you can't just throw in senior singles in the middle of it. It just, it took all the wind out of the sails in my opinion.
Yeah. I get that. All right. So let's start with singles.
Let's do it. Why not?
All right. So bracket A, we had Jacob Trzynski ends up taking it down.
Yes.
Beating his pro partner, Jamie Graham. Now, I want to say, apparently Jamie Graham was very, very sick this weekend. And
he had a bout of doubles.
Yeah, he grinded through singles from what I've been told. And he was so sick that they forfeited out doubles today.
Which sucks, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it does suck, but I hope
especially
Jamie's
with how
feeling better.
well
Yeah.
JT was throwing, but hey, it happens.
I hope he's feeling better.
At least you don't need all of them, right?
Correct. All right, so let me just pull up singles bracket A here real fast. So you have Jacob Trzynski taking it down over Jamie Graham. Ethan Walker, who was on a tear, and I know Anthony Ione hopped on the broadcast at one time and said that he set a record for most consecutive points to start a tournament without being scored upon.
Yeah, wasn't it like 52 or something? Like
He
that?
started, no, it was more than that because he started off with 3 straight shutouts.
Damn.
He started off with 3 straight shutouts, like over.
That's insane.
And then he beat Jamie Graham 25-4.
Whew. God damn. Yeah, that's bananas.
And then he sat for a while because, I mean, that's what happens when you're smoking people, right?
Yeah.
So you sit for a while, and then he meets Jacob Trzynski, who kind of just had his number for that day. And Trzynski was just on a mission. I think he ended up winning 7 games because he did not have a first round bye in singles.
Okay.
So he had to grind his way through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he won 7 games just to make it into the final 4. That's a grind. That's a real, and compared to Ethan Walker, who went 4-2 on the day. You know what I mean? He had the first round bye and he just did what he was supposed to. It makes it really nice when you're a top seed. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
for sure. Yeah.
One of the better seeds, you just kind of walk right through. Other notable names in bracket A, you had Colin Hodet take 4th, Justin Burton Jr. take 5th, Gavin Cano take 6th, Spencer Fabianar take 7th, and Richard Nyberg take 8th.
So, I mean, bracket A, yeah, was an absolute gauntlet when we were going through last episode. So, no surprise there. A lot of big names at the end.
Now, perhaps the most open bracket of the day was it had to be bracket B. We kind of knew that going in. If you looked at it, just name power alone, bracket B was technically, like, in quotes, the easiest. I'm not taking away from anybody here. All right, I'm just saying that it was the most open. I thought that there could have been a variety of people. Now, Tony Smith got off to a very good start, just couldn't quite finish it up. But I think that all the initial panicking over Tony Smith not being, like, returning to form, he definitely has something going on, especially we watched it in doubles today.
Had some pump fakes.
Yeah, he's got some double clutch going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is a mental thing. I don't love seeing that. But in singles, obviously, it wasn't affecting him too much because he ended up going still 4-2 out of the day.
Still
He
a
made
great day.
Made
Yeah.
it to the King C match, just couldn't kind of get over it. But how about Ryan Windsor?
Dude,
Goes
how about Ryan Windsor?
11-1. He loses his opening round match and rattles off 11 straight wins. 11 straight wins. This dude played cornhole for like 8 straight fucking hours. Did not stop and won the bracket. He took down kind of another, like, guy from nowhere out of Maryland. Peyton Mister had himself a fucking day.
Day and a half. Bro.
Yeah, I mean, like, was just
I
unreal.
got to actually see, I saw his one, like, live stream match. Like, dude, he was cooking.
Now, I've talked to people from the area who say he's a very good player, but he's never been, like, this good.
Yeah.
We see it every fucking year. At every signature, there's always somebody that you don't expect that just finds it.
Pop off, yeah. It happens.
Have yourself a day, mister. I mean,
Fuck
it played really well. Right?
Nice.
Hey.
Like it. Hey.
I was talking in the happy hour afterwards, actually, about him. He's got all the shots. I worry about his mechanics a little bit, that he gets a little loopy at times.
Yeah.
I think if he can kind of hone in on some of that and just tweak it a little bit and kind of just really get more down the line a little bit, I think he could be very successful. But
For
I mean,
sure.
obviously when he's on, he's on. It was very fun to watch. Tony Smith takes 3rd. Trey Birchfield takes 4th. Derek Holland, always lurking, takes 5th. Mason Trader takes 6th. Riker Wells. Can you not believe that he was undrafted?
Dude, undrafted.
Might be the biggest crime that he wasn't drafted,
Yeah.
honestly. That might be the biggest
He's
one
gonna
out there.
To me, like, he should go play for like 4 different teams.
Yep.
Randomly, just be a headhunter. Just pay to play.
Yep. All right. Let's go to bracket C. We had this is Mr. Mark Richards' bracket. Richards wins over Clausen, and Clausen just continues to be an issue.
Yes.
And then I loved seeing him play Mark Richards in the bracket because I think that's who Clausen could be. And I think he can learn something from losing to Mark.
Yeah.
And just seeing how Mark approaches the game, because he is really fucking good. And to me, he's like a right-handed Mark Richards. Like, he has that calm, cool collectness about him. I think if he just kind of mimics kind of Mark's style and decision making.
Yeah, decision making is really where Mark's just elite.
Correct.
Beyond everyone else.
Clausen lost a little earlier than would have expected. But he battled his way through. He went 9-2 on the day. So I mean,
Damn.
like he put the work in. The kid's really talented. So again, Richards over Clausen in the finals. Cash Chamness almost had Richards on the ropes. Like, was super close. It was an epic match. He takes 3rd. Matt Guy takes 4th. Logan Chamberlain, a disappointing 5th. Would you call that?
With his run in recent history, yeah, I'd call it a little disappointing.
I told you Jacob Harrison, name to kind of keep in the back of your mind. He takes 6th. Colby Shearer takes 7th. Sebastian Schaefer-Ford takes 8th.
Nice.
And then D bracket, we had Sammy Soto take it down. Sammy Soto takes down over Zach Aiken. Okay, so I do want to say I was called out by a few people the next day after our last episode that when we were doing the bracket breakdown, Zach Aiken was not a top 100 pro. He had to play his way into the bracket through the junior qualifier. In the same bracket, apparently there's another pro, and
Zach
Atkins. And I'm sorry, I misread it. Ironically enough, Aiken ended up being in that same subgroup. All worked out, so I ended up being right anyway. So it's just a weird way it all worked out, kind of thing.
Maybe that was just ACL throwing you one like little lob pass there.
Yep. So Sammy Soto takes it down over Zach Aikens. Jordan Power had himself a day, was looking really good. Again, Jordan is one of those guys that sometimes I just feel like he doesn't have that full shot selection, that there are certain situations that he just can't produce points when other guys might.
Yeah.
He's still really good. I love watching him play. And every season he's gotten better in singles.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's maturing enough. He's learning pace and he's learning how to play that mental edge, like to full advantage.
Yeah.
And he's fun to watch. He takes 3rd, very solid.
Cornhole's better when Jordan Power's involved.
Well said. Chris Kingsbury, 7-2 on the day, takes 4th. Jaden Ellis takes 5th. Alex Rawls got off to a pretty good start, ran into Sammy Soto, just kind of fell off after that. Gage Landis takes 7th. Adam Hissner takes 8th. Tommy Sliker takes 9th.
I mean, Kingsbury, he must have lost late then. If he won 7-2,
he lost early.
Oh, he lost early and then just rattled.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think he lost in the.
I was thinking more like
round.
if you lost early, you'd be more in like the.
He didn't have an opening round bye, so he won his first match, won his second, lost the third, and then I think he had to rattle off.
I didn't realize he had the first
yeah.
round bye. Okay.
Yep. All right, and then in doubles today, it was the finals in singles finals we had.
Don't gloss over that. Show.
Richards had to face off against Ryan Windsor. Now going into it, if there wasn't this like 2-hour break for the teams draft, Ryan Windsor was looking like the man that was going to just roll over everybody. If there was one guy Windsor probably didn't want to play in the first round was Mark Richards.
Faced a million times.
Yeah. And Mark Richards just looked so comfortable on the main stage against a guy that he's thrown against a bunch. I just did not think that Windsor had a chance. Richards handled him very easily. And then on the other side, you had an instant classic against you had Trzynski and Soto. Just a back and forth match. Just
For
kind
sure,
of
man.
like that's when cornhole is so fun to watch. And then again, you finish it off with Richards versus Trzynski.
Yeah.
Just an epic back and forth, like where it came down to like where neither guy could miss a bag, and they're just 4-bagging back and forth, and just the ability for these guys to grab bags is just gotten so out of control.
Dude, it's nuts, man.
And if you're an average player and you're not playing and you're not considering playing with a bag that's just slightly faster, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Because you're watching
Mark
all the best
Richards,
players in the world. They're all doing that now. He's throwing snipers now.
Dude, and
He's throwing a fucking faster bag because he has more hole for friendliness. He can collect bags easier.
The amount of times that I saw that bag sitting either far on the right or the left, not below the hole at all, just sitting almost like at the mid of the board of the hole, and you guys are bringing that bag in. I mean, the amount of times I saw it was just astronomical because that was forever just seen as a bag lost, unless you went up for an airmail, but somehow these guys have figured out how to take the angle in to kiss that thing and just bring it in. It baffles me.
Yeah.
I mean, Logan Chamberlain did it twice in a game that he ended up losing to Cash Chambliss that I was watching. I'm like,
that was just to make the game like respectable.
Exactly. I'm like, how did you grab that goddamn bag? Like, it is bananas what these guys are starting to bring to the table.
It is. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's
it's a further deterrent for me to never want to play again.
They did a full. Oh yeah, I'm done.
Like,
I'm done.
Christ.
So far out of it. Yeah, because there were times where I thought for sure the bag was off, and I see them nod, and they're like, "All right," like kind of smirk, like, "All right, I might have to take 2
Still
bags
there.
to bring this back." But
meanwhile, I see that, and I'm like, don't chase it.
Oh
Like,
yeah, my
there's not a
bag's
chance
shaking
you were
it off.
scoring a
Yeah,
10
for sure.
at best.
Yeah,
All right?
yes, they did a fantastic. I think all the players did a fantastic job showcasing just how good, like how high level the game has gotten. It was very, very fun. All right, so if we go to doubles, we had an epic classic, right? So you had
For sure, dude.
Fabianar and Forbes, just kind of showing off. And then you had going up against Roybal and Wiedenfeld. The first time a Draggin Bags has ever been on the main stage.
Yeah.
The first time they've ever been champion in the pro division. Now they've won in women's division, but pro division, first time. Wiedenfeld and Roybal take it down over Fabianar and Forbes. I tell you what, that was such a great game.
Dude, I loved all of the names that were in the finals because it just like...
Did it feel a little bit like Fabianar and Forbes were like a little surprised that like they lost?
I mean, a little. I mean, to me, like they were kind of in the driver's seat.
They were cruising for a minute. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And yeah, I think it was just like a couple errant roll bags that just didn't fall.
Yeah.
Wiedenfeld was so precise.
He was good.
That like they blinked and they lost that match because he was literally just nickel and diamond Spencer, and like Spencer was hitting some great shots too.
It pissed me off so bad when he gave up the 1 round of 4 because I'm like, dude, you've played too good to have a fucking shit round like this and potentially lose the game. Tip of the cap to Roybal for holding his shit down though.
Yes, he did, and like he was struggling at the start.
He was
found it, but like luckily he wasn't getting demolished at that.
But dude,
end. He was
that's
doing
when you like to me
to keep it
after
close.
having a rough day in singles, right? And you come back and you bounce back and you have a bad start to the finals and you're able to collect yourself. To me, that shows that like Roybal is here to stay.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like he belongs here. And so, again, we've said it before. Sometimes it just takes one for somebody to get and they're going to catapult. We said last week that I had a feeling that Wiedenfeld was going to have really good.
Yeah.
Right. Wiedenfeld may, and I said I was pissed that Trey Ryder had a very similar take because I'm like, I literally had the same thing written down. He made everybody look very smart this weekend. He's very, very good.
Yes.
I think if he finds it in singles, everyone's fucked. I think that Roybal and Wiedenfeld, I don't think they're immediately like a top 5 team right now in power rankings, but they're definitely top 10. I hope they stay there all year. I think this could be a very fun year in doubles where I don't know if we're going to see one dominant team.
Yeah. Were they the beneficiary to Trzynski and Graham not playing? Who was in their doubles bracket?
I'll look that up right now.
Appreciate that. Not any slight to them in any way, but like
it would have been a good team they would have to go through.
I mean, I made it a point to just like say that all Roybal has to do, he's in a situation right now, if Wiedenfeld keeps throwing this way, that all he has to do is just get the bags.
No, that was Morris and Walker were in that bracket.
Okay, all right.
I'll keep this open just for now.
Yeah, also like Morrison Walker, loved that they made it, dude. Like win their bracket. Yes, you didn't have Graham and Trzynski, but Jesus, man,
it made
like,
us like
so happy that
we
they
had
made
them
it.
on early in the before the season even started because we saw this potential. They're friends. David Morse has been underrated. This was a fucking business decision for those two to start playing together, and they lived up to all the hype.
100%.
Again, I don't give a shit. There's no asterisk by it because Graham and Trzynski weren't going to there because they played that well.
Yeah, you still have to get through a gauntlet. I mean, this is pro doubles. There are like still 10 other teams that are absolute dogs in any bracket.
Correct.
But I watched that Walker match against Wiedenfeld and Roybal, and I told you that I really wish they would have swapped.
You
I
wanted
wish
Walker to
go against Wiedenfeld and Morse against Roybal because Roybal was struggling a little bit, and Walker started off hot, but then Roybal found it just enough where Walker just couldn't get enough points to like score. But like Wiedenfeld played Morse. That might be like the most dominant performance I've seen on like one side of a doubles board against another player. Like he was, any shot that Morse threw, like Wiedenfeld just had the answer for. It was nasty. Yeah. But yeah, I'm super happy that they won their bracket though. Like so glad they're in the mix, man. Like this whole, I was like a boy on Christmas morning, like seeing these 4 in the finals. Cause like, I love like Fabianar and Forbes. Like I love Wiedenfeld and Roybal. Like it was cool to have all these guys in.
It was fun because the final 4, I didn't give a fuck who made it. Cause the other 4 that the other 2 we didn't even mention was Smith and Richards.
Yeah, exactly. And like, we could have mentioned them, but they lost, and we already mentioned Mark. So
Smith and Richards, Forbes, Fabianar, that was a phenomenal game too.
It really was, yeah.
That was a hurdle game for Forbes and Fabianar. I know they didn't win it this time. They are going to be absolute
They're
trouble.
a problem, dude.
Do you remember who I compared them to a little bit before we started recording? I said their potential reminds me of somebody.
Cornhole related?
Yes. I said that they could be the new JBJ and Chamberlain,
Oh yeah.
who they are just like a staple top 4 team. I don't have to think about it. They're always going to be in the mix. I'm never going to be surprised
And
if
then they'll
they're
just
winning a
win one or
bracket.
two,
Yeah,
They'll
exactly.
win one or two of them, or
Yeah.
like
It
three
seems
in a row or
inevitable
something
that those two, they're going to win one because they're too good together in doubles. The shit that they can do is fucking wild. It's like a goddamn trick shot competition every time Spencer's playing, and he makes it look so easy.
Yeah, Spencer Fabianar and Colin Hodat might be my 2 favorite guys to watch.
And you let a guy like Spencer lock in on one side of the board, man, that's when it gets fun.
It is, yeah.
It's really fun. I think that they're going to be just fine. I know that they're probably bummed that they lost this match, but again, to me, it sounds so fucked up to say it, but like I'm still putting them ahead in a power ranking stand over Wiedenfeld and Roybal right now, just because like going into the season they were ahead of them, and they just confirmed a lot of like there's really no question marks, but they just get that little bit of a bump
for sure, 100%. But yeah, let's just actually, I'm just gonna give a little celebratory air horn.
Okay, all right, for what?
Just because Dragon took it down.
Okay.
So let's go.
All right, so let's go down through each bracket and standings. Just because I have this one open, we're going to start with the B bracket. It was said before, Graham and Trzynski, they forfeited out. Morrison Walker take it down over Colin Powers and Richard Nyberg. Had a very solid day. Colin Powers, again, might have one of the nastiest airmails. I don't understand quite how he grips a bag. Have you seen it?
I have, yeah.
He just kind of holds it.
Yeah, it's just like he doesn't put a thumb
and when he
on it.
throws
It's just
it kind of wobbles a little bit, but he is deadly with an airmail.
Yeah.
And he's really tall, so it's almost like kind of like cheating a little bit.
halfway to the board.
Third place, you had Jordan Power, Chris Kingsbury. Love to see that those two
Or
early
gelling.
on. Yeah, exactly. Early on, especially Kingsbury throwing different bags, having success already in singles, rolling into doubles. It was very nice to see. You had Anthony Eastridge and Clayton Kennedy take 4th, Sebastian Schaefer Ford and PJ Knott take 5th.
I mean, hey, shout out to Clayton Kennedy. Nice to hear the name
For sure.
after, getting signed. So that's makes me a little bit more of a believer in being a franchise player.
Yep. Just pulling up the A bracket real fast. A bracket. All right. Tony Smith and Mark Richards take it down over Hissner and Birchfield. Ryan Windsor continues his nice weekend. Cameron Belvin. He and Cameron Belvin take their.
Damn.
Yeah, they had a nice run.
Didn't even see that. Hell
Two names I'm not super familiar with. Lucas Piper and Bo Graff. They take 4th. Donovan Sinelli, who apparently beat the shit out of Hoffman.
Okay.
Or maybe Hoffman beat him. Can't remember.
I think Hoffman did beat him because he was saying that.
That's right. Hoffman was like, he beat up some dude. Like,
but he was supposed to lose.
Yeah,
too.
that's right. Donovan Sinelli and Luke Bryan take 5th. Derek Holland and Alex Rawls, a disappointing 6th. I'm going to be honest.
With the names ahead of them, you expect them.
You got
to
buckle down, man. I really thought they were going to be when I first started seeing it out and they were rolling. I'm like, all right, Well, I'll tune in an hour or two and I'll see them in the bracket finals. That's not the case.
I mean, just to revisit Kingsbury and Power, though, like, hey, again, caps off. Apparently, Kingsbury's reprieve from social media has paid off going into the first signature. So,
sure.
Expect more videos, though. We said, what did we want him to throw over the house? Just a full cob of corn.
Yeah.
And now that he's on the kernels,
This is the. Oh, this is still active. All right, so this is the C bracket. This isn't right.
This isn't right.
Not at all. It's still open. I'm like, that's not right. Let's go to the bracket form. We'll do it this way. All right. Yeah, it was like it's not closed out yet. So, all right. So obviously we had Wiedenfeld and Roybal take it down. I'm trying to zoom in so it's not too crazy. They beat down.
They beat down
Logan Chamberlain, Gavin Cano, 23-19. Wow,
beat down.
In third place, Chase White and Zane Krotz. Again, I've been telling you, Chase White, pay attention to the name. Brett Guy and Matt Guy take 4th in that bracket. And then tied for 5th, it looks like it was Eric Davis and Austin Waskow and Hunter Thorne and Hunter Thorson.
Some good names in that mix there. I like that.
D bracket. Come on. All right.
Oh, excuse me.
You had Fabianar and Forbes take down the D bracket over Soto and Colby Shearer. I think it was important for Soto and Shearer to get off to a good start.
It was because they were a big question mark going into the season, but
just a little bit. Everyone
they're
was
both really good throwers. I mean,
oh yeah, they had great chemistry, and Shearer's really good. I thought it was a good calming sense, and Sammy looked really good this weekend. I thought that they're going to be. It was refreshing to see them take care of business. Obviously they didn't get the bracket win, but a deep run in this kind of quells anything that you were really worried about.
Exactly. Like the couple question marks we had about them joining up, but only because we didn't know how familiar they would be with each other. But works out.
Third place, you had Ethan Ferris and Gabriel Clausen. Fourth place, Justin Burton Jr. and Cash Chamness. Apparently that's going to work out pretty well. Gage Landis, Colin Hodit were fifth. They were 5-2 on the day though, so I mean
that's tough.
Yeah. You had Chuck Gerzinski and Michael Salisbury. I mean, that's good for you guys.
Like it.
The team I wanted to give a shout out to, eighth place, Adrian Clark and Colt Kenner. If you didn't see this team play, they got on the live stream. Adrian Clark is about yay big, 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
And Colt Kenner is the name you need to pay attention to. He might be the next junior. We had him on 2 weeks ago. I finally got to see him play in person. He's got all the game. He's got all the shots.
He does, yeah.
Again,
I was a little surprised he wasn't drafted.
It's shot selection. It's learning on how to manage nerves a little bit.
Yeah.
I think as he continues to mature, he's going to be just fine. I think he's very, very talented. Just keep doing what you're doing. They're a really fun team to watch, though.
Yeah.
Because they kind of surprise you. I think we were even talking in the happy hour. Someone's like, I play the Adrian Clark in singles, and I didn't want to score against the dude. He's so little. He's so nice too. But yeah, they're all assassins. So
little tiny assassins.
Hell yeah! So that wraps up Signature 1. Congrats to Cameron Belvin. Taking down women's singles over Sarah Cassidy. You had women's doubles. I don't know.
I don't know actually. I didn't see that either.
They pulled it up real fast.
But Matt Guy won senior singles.
Yep, we saw that over Jeff Reynolds.
It sounded like there was a good turnout for all the advanced and everything.
It was sold out.
Going through and sold out. So refreshing to hear. I know there's still question marks in the ACL moving forward, but this is now as a podcaster about cornhole, the off season sucks.
Yeah.
But now that we're back in it, it's so refreshing. I'm so pumped that it's back. They showed up and showed out for this Myrtle Beach trip. Hell yeah. I think the only downside, Jamie Graham being sick.
Yep. Yeah.
Because that's just, it's sad because this is usually his turf.
Yeah, it was a nice day.
Myrtle Beach is when he usually
Tell you what, it was a nice weekend for Draggin Bags because Samantha Finley and Gina Ramirez take down women doubles.
Oh shit, man! They got 2 champions.
Yeah, they took down Sarah Cassidy, Peyton Haynes, who were second. Third place, Cameron Belvin, Elizabeth Tennyson, and fourth place, Lori Duell and Miranda Coy.
Hell yeah!
I'm sorry, Duell Griswold.
Duell Griswold, yeah.
Congratulations, Lori.
Congrats, yeah.
Just got recently married. I didn't even think she was going to be at this one.
Hey, but she apparently skipping the honeymoon, or maybe they're honeymooning now.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this. It doesn't look like Miranda and Lori are playing as pro doubles partners anymore, though.
Okay, so she's just doing the women's together.
Yeah,
okay.
looks like it. Yep.
Who is Miranda playing with?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Sorry, it's okay. You don't have to look it up.
All right, so I'll look that up next time.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Signature 1 on the wraps. I'm really excited for the season now.
Yeah.
I hope that the energy for teams keeps going up. I think that with Mark Richards just winning singles, it just shows that he's still that dude.
He's the dog, dude.
Yeah, and still he's just gonna be really tough to take down. He's just a tactician, and he's just a grinder. He almost looks like he's having more fun as the game goes longer. You know what I mean? It's
exactly. He's I got him right where I want him.
Yeah, and he's just he almost he thrives when the games get close in those moments, and he wants to take those big shots.
He's happiest after 4 straight rounds of washes of 4 bags, and then he's all right, now I'm gonna score 2. And then I'll be happy for the next 6 rounds of washes.
Yeah, and he's got to be so used to playing under the lights at this point. The only time I think he would ever get nervous again is if he had a 4-year hiatus where he just never made a broadcast again.
Yeah, or if he has to face Jordan Power.
Yeah, he might get nervous
because even the world's best get nervous.
Yeah, and I think he's up to 31 or 33 titles. I mean, it's just
bananas,
ridiculous. I mean, by right now.
But again, do we throw an asterisk on this one because Jamie was out sick?
No, he still played though.
He still played.
Lost
singles.
to
Almost took it down. Still, being sick as a dog,
there was a moment in that game where I thought that I don't think Trzynski's going to lose just because I don't think he's going to let it happen. I think he was just
willing
so
his way to
determined.
win.
Yeah.
Dude,
But
it's
then,
like it's why he's one of my favorite cornhole players to watch.
But
Like,
then
the dude
Mark
literally
Richards.
just wills victories. It's unreal. But then then there's Richards, who's just like, you can try to will it, but I'm just gonna wear you down.
it's unreal.
Your will's not gonna last.
Unreal. Well, Dane already cued the rap horn before, so I'm not going to
Nope,
you guys.
nope. Let's cue it.
Sorry.
We'll just do one though. All right.
If so, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of them. Just search like Big Asp or Big Asp Cornhole Podcast or one of those, and you'll find us.
We pop up.
Promise you.
And then we've been mentioning Draggin Bags because,
sure
I mean,
have.
they're the winningest bag company of this weekend. So
are.
head over to dragginbags.com and
We've only been
jump
telling you
on
guys
that
forever.
train, dude. Again, Power Dragons, Dirty Dragons, the world's greatest cornhole bag.
And don't
It's
forget about
literally
you can try
in
a set of
May.
bag, and you can just replace it.
Exactly.
No questions asked.
If you don't like
within a
the-
year, like
just,
anything. You want to try the new series bags come out? Just fucking replace
Try
it.
it. And then, you throw them and you're like, oh, these are too fast. All right. If you buy the world's greatest cornhole bag, just a little like nuance to all of you.
But you not like hole
Break
friendliness?
it in. It
Yeah.
it will become your favorite bag. It
Or
just melts.
Just
dude.
go.
It's unreal.
You can throw the Power Dragon too.
Yes,
Those
you
work
can.
just fine on the broadcast
Yes, it
too.
is. I think they
You know?
actually threw Dirty Dragon on the
Did they?
broadcast,
I
which is
couldn't
weird
tell.
because Wiedenfeld throws Power Dragon, but they threw Dirty Dragon in doubles together.
Were those Dirty Dragons?
I think so. I thought that's what Dan was saying, but maybe they actually switched over to Power.
Okay.
But either way, all of their bags are phenomenal.
They
Their
all dropped
pros
in.
throw them, and they
They
all
worked.
they're working. So join the pros. Head over to Draggin Bags.
And if you're looking to support the show, you can do so by going to Dragon Bags, or you go to Patreon. You go to patreon.com/bigasscornhole. For the price of beer a month, you get some bonus content. Post videos of all of our episodes. We do fun happy hours. We post bonus content. Like any insider information I learn goes right to Patreon. So if you're a cornhole nerd, you just like the show, you want to help support us, keep it going, go to patreon.com, join the community, and we'd love to have you.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And dude, how about the happy hour call? Can we just talk about that for a
Dude.
second?
Had a blast.
Awesome. I think we got up to like 20 something people the one time. It was
I
pretty
was
crazy.
I was bummed you retired because I think that one could have been a marathon. We could have been on until like 2 a.m.
I know.
And I was ready for it.
Part of it was
Saturday,
my
and I
wife
like,
worked all
shit.
day, and
know.
I felt
I
terrible
knew
that
you
she
had to
literally
do
walked in
things.
the door and I left, and
Yeah.
I'm like, it's 10 o'clock. She has to work. Like we have all day tomorrow. I just can't be that big of a dick. And then I went home and she was already in bed.
Yeah, I mean that's fine, but
I deserve that.
still had a blast though. Thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to become a part of that community, just head over to Patreon, bro.
It's fun. Right after this, you're going to be,
stick around.
we have an interview that we did last week with the owners of the Florida Freeze. So I think it's very interesting to hear their thoughts going into the draft and now it's seeing how everything panned
Yeah,
out.
it is kind of
It's pretty fun.
kind of fun to listen to.
Chauncey and George. Chauncey has been on the show several times, owner of Swag. George, they were both a little under the weather. They were toughing it out, but they wanted to get on before the draft be interviewed.
And they had
so.
a lot of good points to make, and like
Hell yeah.
super good owners. Like another great interview with
Again, it
these
gets us
team owners,
excited
man.
about the
100%.
direction it's going. I'm hoping to get the guys from Texas Bully Baggers on here soon. A few others. So
Yeah, there's good people that own these teams. All right, so everyone needs to get excited about this and join us in being excited about teams.
So enjoy the interview. We'll be back next week with more audio gold. Happy New Year's and
Happy New Year's.
And listen, I didn't want to say in the beginning because it's always weird because we just do this every week, right?
True.
I mean, happy birthday. The show, this is his sixth birthday. The show
is.
turned 6 years old today. This
Bananas.
episode, we've been doing 6 years, haven't missed an episode every Wednesday for 6 years. We're rolling officially into year 7 now.
Dude, nuts.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I only
when
had
we
one
look
kid
back
when
on
this
it.
show started.
My dog was 2. Now he's 8.
Yeah, it's
Turns 8
just-
tomorrow. It's nuts.
I mean, we've changed. We used to be upstairs. Now we're
I know.
downstairs.
Now we're downstairs, dude. Like, look at our backdrop now.
One thing hasn't
Really
changed though.
upgraded.
Draggin Bags still been our favorite.
Dude,
so
yeah,
all these years.
forever and always.
How about that? So yeah, seriously, have an awesome week. Enjoy the interview. We'll be back next week with more audio gold. But until then, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later. All right. Well, welcome back to the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. We are now joined by the ownership group of the Florida Freeze, Mr. Chauncey and George. What's going on, guys?
Not much. How are you?
Good. Now I know you guys are both battling through whatever is just sweeping the country right now and just knocking people down. So appreciate you guys grinding through.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Happy to see you both again. And,
For
you
sure,
know,
Chauncey's
I'll
been
never say no
OG.
to come on the show.
Sure, for sure. George, I don't know anything about you. Can you just tell me a little, like, what area are you out of? How long have you been involved in cornhole, or have you been involved in cornhole before this? Or
I'm out of Northwest Indiana, Portage, Indiana area. I've only been in cornhole for about a year and 4 or 5 months.
Nice.
really didn't know much about cornhole up until last year. I had a friend of mine who was heavily involved in cornhole back down in Texas. He unfortunately passed away. So I went down the weekend of my birthday last year for his celebration of life, and they had a silent auction for a bunch of his gear and a huge tournament there. They actually moved the tournament to a huge brewery that could accommodate the space for as many people that was there to show up for it. But I ended up winning a Zuka and a few sets of bags. And first thought was, okay, well, now I got to check luggage on the plane because I only brought a carry-on. And then the second, thought was, well, shit, what do I do now? Don't know anything about cornhole. I've got 3 sets of bags and a Zuka. Um,
At least you can look the part.
Right? I mean, you're going to roll into your first event like looking 100%. People are going to be a little nervous.
Did the wheels light up on the Zuka too?
Oh yeah, do you have,
yeah,
yeah, oh, yeah,
actually,
yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
I mean, shit,
Pro.
though.
You're pros pro then.
Yeah,
it, it actually that was like the thought. I called around and got on Facebook and found a group up here out of Northwest Indiana. A lot of the pros have actually played at the VFW up here, and like Mark Richards,
I was just say
Phil
you're in a
Lopez.
sneaky hotbed of cornhole pros out there. You guys don't get enough
Sure.
respect in the area for how many people you guys have turned out through the years, like Bernasette, Richards, yeah, like the whole crew out there. Yeah, they've done well.
Yeah, Nick Mescal,
Philip
all those guys.
Lopez, like all those guys. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I walked in my first event and people actually did think like I was a pro. Like they're like, who is this guy? And then I think I averaged a 1 my first night.
It's all right. We all do that. We all do that.
So,
But
yeah,
you
that's
kept
how
coming
I
back though.
that's how I got into it. And then by
Okay,
the
so
end
let
of
me.
this,
What brought you back though? Because like obviously you threw a 1, so like it wasn't like performance. Was it the drive to get better? Was it the people? Was it?
it was the people. Oh my God, like I was so embarrassed. I can't even tell you how embarrassed I was. And everybody was really, really cool. One of the very first people I met was Craig Haviland, and he
Oh yeah. Okay.
was just like, dude, don't be disappointed, stick with it. You're gonna get better, don't let this, put you down. And everybody at the VFW, from one of the guys we call him Bucket Hat Ron, to Robin Drew Williams, all the guys were just so supportive. Spencer Michaels, they all encouraged me to just keep going, and I stuck with it, and by the end of December of last year, I was hauling guys around the country. I started sponsoring guys individually, and we were going to all the opens and signatures. And then, you know, um, this year I bought uh, a team with Chauncey. So like, I'm one of those guys. It's like I'm usually either all in or not at all.
Okay.
Um,
What did you do for a living?
uh,
Or
so
what do you
I
do for a living?
So I own restaurants, but primarily what I do is like I flip businesses, like people flip houses.
Okay.
I find people that are struggling, and we offer services to them. Like, we can do an evaluation and give them recommendations to help change their business, or if they really want to get out of it. If we feel we can make it profitable, we buy it from them and then turn around and sell it for a profit.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, but it's been a very strange journey. I met Chauncey, and couldn't have met a greater guy to partner up with, just because our values align so closely, and how we feel about the game and thinking outside the box. Bringing new ideas to cornhole itself. Like how we approach the people that we want to go after and represent. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Um, I honestly feel, I mean, yes, pros bring name recognition. Um, Obviously, if you've got somebody like a Mark Richards or, a Tony Smith or those guys, I mean, obviously they bring a lot of name recognition to the bag company itself. But when you have guys out there every week, going to 3 or 4 locals like we do and doing 2 or 3 regionals a month like we do, um, out there talking to other players saying, hey man, why don't you try to throw these rubies? Hey man, why don't you try these tornadoes? Oh man, these jokers are sick. Why don't you throw these with me? it does a lot more to push bag sales and recognition than I think people give credit to.
No, I agree.
100%. Yeah, grassroots.
I agree.
Everybody's
How did
really
this?
into it.
So we have Florida and we have Indiana. Like how did your guys' paths cross?
That's a funny story. I can tell my side of it. So, George, George, was it April of this past year, 2025?
We first met at Fort Lauderdale for the
Yeah.
Open last year.
Okay.
Yeah, there
Last
was a
season.
signature event in Fort Lauderdale, which is my backyard. And George and I met through a few, mutual friends that were in the cornhole world. And I think it all kind of started because one of them, asked me to make George a custom bag with his logo on it, kind of as a surprise,
Okay.
that kind of thing. And I did that, and we met in person and really kind of hit it off. And George at that point was sponsoring players, as I mentioned, and I became interested because George is a great guy, first of all, but then I saw the passion of him, sponsoring people and not actually having a stake in cornhole. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a bag company, he doesn't have an apparel company, etc. So he was doing it, just helping people who needed it get around and play cornhole. And we just got to talking about teaming up and sponsoring players together and things of that nature. And that was way before teams came along. So when this opportunity presented itself, it was just kind of a match made in heaven as far as a partnership, because we had already been working together, sponsoring people and doing some business together. So it just made sense.
So Chauncey, like for me, like hearing the stories, it makes sense like why you would be part of an ownership team going to buy a team, right? You're already very ingrained in the ACL world, swag bags. But George, like being a relatively new outsider, all right, like what is it about teams? I mean, obviously you're a business dude, right? Like you flip businesses, you evaluate businesses. What about this product do you think like is like, does teams have potential?
Yeah, I definitely feel Teams has a ton of potential. I think if, done, um, for lack of a better term, I mean, I'm just going to say it as it is. I mean, if it's done correctly, if it's correctly, um, and if enough effort is put into it, yeah, I mean, I think it could be very, very profitable. But one of the things that got me into the whole team part with Chauncey was, man, if I could be part of something that's bigger than just, what I'm already doing, and kind of even help grow the sport even more and bring more awareness. Like I've got a ton of friends who really don't know that much about cornhole, just like
Yeah.
I didn't know that much about cornhole before. And like now that like I even have a team, I mean, people thought that was cool that I was playing cornhole, but now having a team, even more people are like, "Oh wow, you're really serious about this." I'm like, "Yeah," and so now I can't tell you how many more people I've got now following ACL, following cornhole just because I bought a team. And at the end of the day, that's my goal: is to grow the sport, help people learn about the sport, help people play the sport. I feel like there's a ton of people out there who have the talent to do very, very well in this sport. They just don't have the means, they don't have the money, or they have a ton of other obligations that prohibit them from uh, fully following the dream. So if I can in some sort of way reach out and help them further along to achieve that goal, then that's what I'm trying to do.
I mean, we basically just
Beautiful thing.
described the ACL top 100. I mean,
Yeah.
or the ACL pro group as a whole. But I think that it is important in order for cornhole as a game to get to like the next level. It was important for there to be outside interest in terms of financial interest. Um, because like I think it just takes a big step in legitimizing the game. It's no longer like this podunk, like, please take us off ESPN 8 the Ocho kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like we're a step past that. And I agree. And you used a term, and I'm going to call you out on this. Like you said, if it's run correctly, what does that mean? Like what does correct look like to you in terms of like how teams should be run?
Um, wow, man. So in all honesty, like, and again, this isn't me trying to um slam anybody in the
No.
door or anything. There's obviously some things I would have done different. Honestly, one of the things that I've actually found very um hard about this whole process is the bag manufacturer um, aspect to everything. Honestly, I would have, if I was ACL, I would have had one manufacturer make all the bags and make it unknown to everybody who that manufacturer was. That way, there's no, company logo on that bag. There's no, fighting about, oh my God, I've got to throw so and so's bag, blah, 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 blah. That way, I honestly feel, in my opinion, it would have made it to where anybody could go after anybody, and there's not going to be any hurt feelings about, oh, they're throwing this bag, or oh, I've got to check with my bag sponsor, or oh, whatever. I also think that, one thing that could have been done differently would be ACL not, telling bag sponsors, hey, you can't punish guys for um, wanting to throw for, say, the Arizona Burn, or, the Florida Freeze or Chicago Spinners, even if they're not using your bags because it's outside of the normal player bag sponsor contract. This is an ACL team event made to grow ACL, made to make it more popular. Um, Bag sponsorship should really not be a part of that if you're trying to grow the sport and make it bigger.
I mean, it shouldn't, but I mean, that's the lifeblood of 99% of the pros out there, unfortunately. And that's a model that needs to change for the game to grow. And that's kind of tying back into like the importance of like outside interests in terms of like financial investments into this team. And that's why I don't think ACL teams was going to be destined for success if we had 10 Chaunceys as just the team owners. And this is not like, no offense to you at all, Chauncey. I mean, I'm just saying like we needed outside investment in order to like I think take the next step, and it's nice to see it.
No, and I echo that. I mean, I think this was a great opportunity, as you mentioned, to bring outside funding, but also outside interest, because
Correct.
all
And
of those
outside
people
ideas.
and so like there's one what just kind of off the top of my head, some of the people that have come in and organizations that have come in and purchased teams or are part of an ownership of a team. And when we're meeting in these owners meetings and such, it's refreshing. It's refreshing to see that outside perspective. And for instance, there's one team in particular that's an agency that lands sponsorship agreements. I mean, that's literally their business. Their business is to find sponsorship and advertising deals for other businesses. And so when you have someone like that bringing creative ideas to the table and seeing where they think it can go and such, it's exciting. And then you have other people from other walks of life. I mean, we talked about George's path and his business, but then even some of the other ownership groups. I think one of them was like big into IT and some previous like social media apps that they were kind of at the forefront of. So you start talking about advertising companies come in, you start talking about IT companies coming in, and there's just, in my opinion, there's just not a universe where that's a bad thing if we want the sport to grow.
Completely agree. I think it's very important. And I think that I think as long as the product is good, I think the cornhole fan base is hungry for just something different. Like we're always going to show up for singles and doubles, right? Like for a pro event, like that's what it is. But I want a team to cheer for. Like it's hard.
Yes.
Like it's tough to always cheer for like just the same individual. Like it's weird. Like I'm a 39 now.
Yeah, you're 39.
I'm a 39-year-old dude. Like I can't, like, what I mean? Like I want to cheer for a team. Like I'm a ride or die. Like I'm rocking my Browns gear today after just an awesome win yesterday. You know what I mean? So like,
Amen. Remember, I'm from Cleveland, so I'm
I
with
know
you.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like so I think but teams really has potential. My one worry with teams is that going forward, I know they haven't ironed out all the ideas of like what happens to your guys' roster after this year. Like, do you guys get to revamp it? Is it like you guys get to keep 2 guys and everyone's thrown back in? It's difficult to be a fan of a team if like there's tons of turnover, I think, all the time.
Right.
So I'm hoping that this is going to serve as like a very core draft going forward. And I hope that's laid out where you guys have the ability to keep most of the players if they would want to
If they
stay
want
on
to
that
stay,
team.
yeah.
I think that's important. I really do.
I agree.
Yeah, I and we'll see where it goes. I definitely agree from fan perspective that's an important component. And I mean, to your point earlier, like you said, we're going to show up for singles and doubles. And when you think about like sports that are singles, so tennis, golf, etc., you can turn on and follow Scotty Scheffler or Rory or whoever, and they're going to show them on TV. But realistically, in cornhole, you're only going to get the Final Four. So you could be the biggest, Jamie, Mark fan, whoever it is, and they might not make TV. At least with teams, your team's going to be there. So you're going to be able to watch your team. And I think that's the basis for, creating, a fan base outside of just, the cornhole people who, eat, sleep, and breathe cornhole. I have friends that follow sports that they're waking, that are international, and they're waking up at, whatever it is, 4 a.m. to watch.
I'm a rugby fan, man. Amen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
7 a.m.
Right. And so there's an opportunity to attract, and grow the game from a fan base perspective. So that's where I see the potential of teams. I mean, if I wouldn't have necessarily, considered getting into it from an ownership standpoint if I didn't see it as, an avenue that could really attract a lot more people coming into the sport. Obviously from a business perspective, of course, and profitability, but then also just to grow the game. If it was just going to be another side segment of just like how, a blind draw is at every open, and there was just going to be, teams in the corner or something like that, it wouldn't be worth the effort and the energy. But, I think that's
why we've been so loud about all this
Mhm.
early on, because we were getting so frustrated at the lack of like promotion of this.
Yeah.
You come out, you let us know, hey, there's these team owners, and then crickets for like 2 months. I'm like, what are we doing here? Now, apparently they've gotten the picture because every day they're flooding stuff out, which is what they should have been doing the whole time.
Let's be honest, like years prior, our biggest gripe about teams was there was no way to follow it. We had no way as fans of following teams. So, I mean, Chauncey, you've been around the sport. Like I asked this to the owners of the Burn too. Like, what made you think that this year was going to be different when it opened up to ownership for teams?
Well, I knew that there was going to be whatever you want to call them, speed bumps along the way, right? Getting everybody on the same page and set up, and time constraints, and now you have people from different ownership groups that have different schedules, with maybe their core businesses, for instance, and getting everyone together, monthly and things like that. It's going to take some time for some things to fall into place. But I think the key difference is having, whether they are in the cornhole business, so say i.e. bag companies, or outside the cornhole business, having ownership groups that are directly responsible for their teams, I think is the key difference. And maybe things, maybe it's next year that everything starts coming together and things of that nature. But my point is, you mentioned lighting a fire, so to say, for the push of publicity and things of that nature. But when you have, eventually say 16 team owners that are all going to be pushing their brand and their team, that's the difference, because it doesn't just all fall now on the ACL that has all, so much going on. And now, like you said, they're focused on the world championship singles and doubles and here's teams and stuff.
Sure.
Now you have 16 different entities and the players on those teams, because now they're, getting, as getting paid to be on the teams and such, pushing those brands. I think in the long term, that's the difference is just having more minds at the table and having more people with skin in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's part of the reason too, like I wanted to get in when we did is just because, like I said, I want to see the game grow. I want to see the popularity grow. Um, I want to see participation grow. And so it was important for me, and I feel, in talking to Chauncey, it was important for him too, to actually get a team so that we have a seat at the table, so that we have a voice in the direction that this is going to go. And it's one of those things where you've got to get in the game if you want to have that voice. So that's
Yeah.
why we jumped in when we did.
I completely agree. I mean, we had a very serious conversation about doing the same thing, jumping in. And that's the main reason was I didn't think that we would turn a profit, but I'm like, it might be worth it just to get a voice at the table finally. You know what I mean? And we would actually have some say in how
Because we've
things
been
would go
setting that
forward.
table for 6 years now. So,
Well, yeah,
all
and
right. We'll just be the waiters that serve y'all.
my biggest I guess my biggest concern with all this is that I think it's great that outside money is coming in. I just don't see an avenue for any of these teams to be profitable right now. I just don't, and maybe that's not a concern for you guys, and like that's great, and I hope I think that would be wonderful. But if we're being realistic, I just don't see there being a real return on investment yet at this point.
It might not be instant, and it might not be, even if it is significant, like right away.
Is that how most team owners are kind of looking at this, as like a long-term kind of investment?
Well, I believe so. That's how we're looking at it. Like George mentioned, getting in at the ground floor, so to say. I mean, you always see those and again, not to compare cornhole to the NFL and things like that, but you always see those graphics of XYZ bought this team in XYZ year. You know what I mean? And then here's what it's worth today, and whoever. But there are other avenues that I think all the team owners are aligned with in terms of sponsorship money. And what I mean by that is bringing in companies to sponsor your team. Yeah. And I know that, yes, I'm not saying that we're going to go, like the Hard Rock is the Dolphins stadium, right? So it's the Hard Rock Stadium. What is the Cleveland Browns? Is it still the First Energy or whatever it is?
For right now, and then they're moving right down the street from us.
Right. So you have that. And I'm not saying that, there's going to be someone who comes in tomorrow and wants to, sponsor the Florida Freeze for $1 million. But they're in your geographic area, it's not crazy to think that you can't raise more money than what you're spending on the team. In Florida, you go to a Publix, a grocery store, or the Hard Rock, who I already mentioned, whatever, Tropicana orange juice. And for a lot of these companies, what they're spending on their current ad budget and sponsorship and marketing budget. I mean, this would be a drop in the bucket for them.
Correct.
So, there is, I'm not saying that that's going to be substantial and people are going to become millionaires first year, selling rights to teams and things like that in regards to naming. But there are avenues like that to help kind of bridge that gap and while we see where it goes long term.
It's good. We are quickly approaching. I think perhaps my favorite thing about the ACL teams process, which is the draft.
Yes.
I think over the years it has offered cornhole nerds like myself an opportunity to do what I was already doing behind the scenes and doing like fantasy cornhole stuff. You know what I mean? Only you guys are doing you guys get the opportunity. You bought your way in to be essentially right now, you guys are fantasy cornhole owners, and you guys decided to start your squad off pretty strong. I think you guys were the second team to announce who you guys signed. Why did you guys ultimately decide that Trey and Adam were like great, like franchise players?
George, you want to start or me?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Honestly, I mean, they are already proven. They're winners, 2024 world champions. They're, one of the winningest teams out there. And they're proven. I mean, they've been on TV. They've shown that they can handle the pressure. They can stay with any of the big dogs. I mean, they are big dogs. So, they don't fold. I mean, and just, being an observer, being to signatures and opens and seeing some of the team events last year, it's one thing to be on an ACL, live stream. It's another thing to be on national TV on CBS or ESPN.
Yeah.
So, that's a lot bigger stage, and just seeing these guys perform on that stage, and last year, um, you can't go wrong.
And I think
Yeah, no,
it makes it interesting too with the format changes. And I don't think that there's been enough stressed about that. And I don't think and we've been trying the last few weeks, but I'm going to keep harping on this. I don't think the general public has a firm understanding of this is no longer like two teams going and playing 7 matches on CBS Sports and then like you get a win or a loss kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's a bracket style format now, to my understanding, where
yep.
guys would be playing, let's say, the Chicagoland Spinners, and you would play a singles match, a doubles match, and then if need be, there'd be a tandem, correct? And then
Well, and I believe that I believe that they'll be happening at the same time. Obviously, unless it's TV or something like that.
winner
But
best
yes,
2 out of 3, and then those 3 teams would then move on and face along the bracket.
yep.
You're
And
competing for us. Those winning teams at these signatures get a guaranteed spot in the world championships, correct? Like for the teams event.
Yep, that's correct. So if there are 5 different winners or 4 different winners, whatever the number is,
Okay.
they'll all have a spot. And then if the Florida Freeze, let's go Freeze, go ahead and sweeps it all. That similar to what we saw in singles and doubles at Worlds last year, there will be that contenders bracket
Okay.
to get to fill out the field.
Okay. Interesting. All right. And I'm assuming there's some sort of cash prize for the winning team at each one of these signature events.
So how it's been laid out so far is that it's going to be your final place at the end. So so as far you got to remember that the players are getting salaries and such.
Yeah.
And so the grand prize, so to say, will be Worlds.
Well, was the salary cap a known thing before you guys went into this?
No. So that was something that, was discussed over the course of owners meetings and such.
Okay.
When we got involved and it was pretty early on, I think correct me if I'm wrong, George, but I want to say we were maybe like the 6th team, let's just say.
Yeah.
But there was talks of the best structure of how to do this. It's this pure free agency, which, as you know, would obviously heavily favor bag teams. Hey, I already sponsor you. You're on my team, and now you have 5 or 6 bag companies that do that and suck up everyone that way. Then there was talk, of a pure draft method, and kind of the meet in the middle, right? Was 2 players per free agent.
Did you want to go free draft, or did you like the idea of starting with like franchise players?
I'll be honest, from my perspective, at first I was in camp free for all. Go and get whoever you want. If you can convince them to sign, you convince them to sign. And maybe there's some cases where a salary wouldn't even be involved, and maybe there's other cases where there's a bidding war. But that was initially my camp. But then, going back to what you were talking about cornhole nerds and fantasy drafts and stuff. Now that it's a draft, I'm so pumped, man. I'm so pumped to draft a team. And I will say, like I said, as those conversations progressed, in the meetings, we had to have, where the salary cap came from is, again, trying to think ahead. And that's what I think a lot of the conversations are. Say, I don't know, whatever, Bill Gates buys a team tomorrow. Now he can just buy the whole, pay whatever he wants and gets the most stacked team, imaginable, if he'd be interested in that. But so that's where the salary caps and things like that came into place to kind of level that playing field.
I mean, it's just a decent amount of like more cash you guys are responsible for. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
Yep.
So I'm glad it was like, it sounds like it was more of like an ownerships all kind of coming together, agreeing like, okay, this is what we're all going to do kind of thing.
Well, and just think about it. I mean, say you convince, whoever to play on your team. I mean, we have Adam and Trace. Say I convince, Adam.
And they're bougie. So like,
say I convince Adam to play on my team for, I don't know, whatever it is, $500, or just pick a number. And then Trey, goes and gets picked up by another team for $5,000. And then, they're riding in the car to signature number 1. And Adam's like, yeah, I'm so pumped. I got $500. And Trey's like, you got 500? I got 5,000. You know what I mean? So that's, there needed to be structure
It
in
did.
place.
Yeah.
And so, looking back at where we started and where we ended up, I think it was the right move. And again, going back to if we want companies to come in outside money and stuff, they have to have the ability to go and get players and not just maybe get blocked because that player signed to a bad company that also owns a team. Let's make it a free agency. Let's make it a negotiation. And I think that those things in the long term will bode well versus the alternatives.
For sure. No, I'm so excited for the draft. What draft pick are you guys? Are you guys 6?
7.
7. Okay. How do you guys like being like towards the end? I mean, because like a snake draft, which is kind of nice. So I mean, you're gonna be a nice spot at being number 7.
It's funny you mentioned that because now we're just going to go back to our fantasy, comparison before. But I'm a pretty big fantasy football player, and I've historically always had my best success kind of getting a late first round pick and stacking up.
Me too. Yeah.
So hey, let's give me the 10th pick. That's fine because now I go 10-1. Give me the 7th.
We're being honest, like we're only going 4 rounds. You know what I mean? And there's only 10 teams, so it's not like you don't have to go that deep into the well. You know what I mean? In terms of like reaching for players at that point. So there's a lot of name power out there. What I'm interested to see is some teams, it seems like they've gone very regional, right? Like they're trying to keep guys like in their own area.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are Florida. You guys like to boast very loudly that you guys think you're very good at cornhole in that state. You guys have had some success. They're pretty decent. You guys, last time I checked, I think Adam's from Ohio. Ray is also from Ohio. So like, are you planning, like, is that part of your guys' team strategy is like try to get guys that are local to support like that brand? Or do you guys really not care? You guys will perform, like you guys care about performance and like team strategy, stuff like that.
I'll let George answer, but from my perspective, first and foremost, we want people who we believe can win.
Okay.
And we want people that we believe are marketable. And, going back to, even Adam and Trey, I mean, I think even, Adam with, between the boom and between the hat, the beer in the left hand, like, I mean, he might be one of the most recognizable faces, in cornhole historically. So, you want people who can win, you want people that are marketable. And then, yes, of course, I think, without spoiling our draft board and things of that nature, I think that you'll see that, our goal will also be to bring in high level talent if it's available in Florida for a lot of the things we were talking about. I mean, if they fit the bill of being a winner, if they fit the bill of being marketable, but then also having them in the state when we might be, going after certain sponsorships and things of that nature, having them local for activation events, things of that nature, I think is all, going to be part of the formula.
Yeah, for me, it's all about winning. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, nothing is more marketable than a winner.
Amen.
Nobody really gives two craps where you're from as long as you're winning. And so, I think, to echo what Chauncey said, there's a perfect opportunity with the amount of talent that comes out of Florida to basically suit both winning and being marketable, not only nationally, but there for the Florida market. Yeah, I mean, priority number 1 is to win because, like I said, nothing is more marketable than a winner.
Oh yeah.
And then, definitely want to represent, swag and Florida at the same time, it being a Florida team.
For sure.
Well, and also, as we try to reach the next level of whatever teams could look like and where it can go, I mean, how many star quarterbacks are actually from the city that they're playing on the team of?
No,
right?
100%, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it's because cornhole still it feels regional, like in terms of like its alliance of like where you came from. There's still some pride in that from, I don't know if that's still like lingering conference stuff, like, like from the early days of ACL, you know what I mean? And there's been whispers, a lot of people wish they would bring back conference stuff. Like those were, I mean,
Those are
Chauncey,
awesome.
I don't remember how long like you've been around like the ACL scene, but do you remember like some of the best times at Worlds were the conference events that were going on and just the mobs of people that be around like when the two conferences like the finals were going on. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
it
It was
was
always
fun.
awesome.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, it was also a great opportunity to, you know, see friends from other states that you
Okay.
might not with the new format. So I completely understand with what you're saying there, but you know, as conferences faded away into states now, as you mentioned, it becomes the state rivalries. I
Yeah.
mean, is it Texas? Is it Michigan? Is it Florida? You know, you
Correct.
name it. So you're right. I think you bring up a good point that it has been more regionalized because, you know, just historically, most people traveling to tournaments that are drive to distance, things of that nature, and you're going to see a lot of the same faces, meet a lot of friends, have a lot of pride in your region. And you know, hopefully, again, for it to grow, you know, we need it to get national, not regional. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
we'll let the folks go at home. We'll have you guys hang on for just a minute. But I know you guys are both under the weather, so again, thank you very much for like taking some time, carving some time out. Especially, I know Myrtle Beach is coming up, and you guys got some planning, I'm sure, to do. And
Yeah,
so
and I definitely want to get some rest for that because it's huge for us, and just being sick cannot happen at the worst possible time.
no. But again, the draft is going to be a fun experience. I'm very happy that they're doing some sort of virtual coverage for it. So
So
um,
have you guys decided what you're doing for that? I know there's been some. I mean, are you ready to share that, or is that still a
Yes, we were
secret, or what?
actually we were planning on discussing that right
Yeah.
after this. We didn't have a chance to
No,
yesterday.
I see bonuses to both because I like to do things special for people that like support the show. Like so, like to me, like the Patreon route makes sense and it's very easy for us. We just
Yeah.
hop on with a bunch of people, we commentate. But then at the same time, like it's something we've been pushing for so long. Like I feel like we could do something on Facebook Live that would
I
be.
worry about the ACL giving us shit if we
I
try
don't
to
care.
just like,
It's a public feed. They can't
you
do
know,
shit.
throw
So
something in with it.
they
But
won't do anything.
I'm old enough to remember you live tweeting the the ACL draft in the
I do
past.
that. I used to do that. It used to be my favorite thing, and I like. But Twitter never took off on for cornhole. It sucks.
Right.
It's like that's what I would love to do. But I'll probably do something similar to that, like while we're live or something. But it's either going to be on Facebook or it's going to be Patreon. But like we have plans on a lot of people coming on after, and you guys are more than welcome if you want to hop on after the draft and you know say
Of
your
course.
how you think the teams where I'll send you guys the link. So for wherever we're going, but I know the owners for
that's the
Arizona.
reason why I think we have to do Patreon. Because like then you're like you guys can come into the circle
Well,
of
what I'm
trust.
saying is we could just change that and then move to Patreon
Which we
afterward.
could.
So we'll see. But yeah, we haven't completely ironed that out. So though, but in our they already know this because in the beginning part of the episode we'll probably have already said what we're gonna do. So, but that's the joy of.
Well, I'm a loyal Patreon subscriber of you both, so I'll
Be
be.
here
I
either
guess
way.
I'll figure it out. I'll be able to see it either
You'll
way.
be there anyways. Correct. But good luck at the draft. Folks, we'll be back next week with more audio gold. But until then, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but four baggers from here on out. Sorry, I was about to put like
Cornhole it?
yeah, sorry.